Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special Pro Soccer Talk Watchalong live for the Netherlands against the Argentina in the Cup quarterfinal of the World Cup. Andy Edwards is joining me in Kansas City. Andy, delighted as always to have you along with me, mate. This is a huge World Cup quarterfinal, isn't it? Between two massive football nations, two nations who have met each other so often at this tournament. As we see the anthems played and Louis van Gaal applauding the rendition of that Dutch anthem. How are you feeling? What are your predictions ahead of this game? Because seems like the tournament's kind of opened up for Argentina, right?
Yeah, I'm a little torn, I think, and especially watching this Dutch team again for the first time since they obviously knocked out the U.S. men's national team. Curious to see kind of what they go on and do at this tournament. You always feel better if you get knocked out by the eventual champion or a team that makes a really, really deep run. You feel like, well, we played a better team than we thought at the time, maybe. And I think that's kind of I don't know, that's the vibe I'm getting from this Netherlands team. They've continued to kind of just improve and grow a little bit throughout this tournament. Obviously, they didn't have Memphis to start. He's back now in the regular rotation, starting for this team. Like he is, and I think we knew this coming in. He is the X factor for this team, and they will kind of go as he goes up top. And if he's able to put chances away and be involved in creating chances the way that he was against the U.S., I think they have a much better chance than I probably would have thought a week ago, 2 weeks ago, certainly before the tournament started. So it's a very, very interesting matchup. And I'm curious, would you say Netherlands the best or the biggest national team to have never won a World Cup? Because I hear a lot of people say that. And if you just think about all the players they've had over the years and some of the really good teams as well, and the brilliant minds that have molded Dutch football, it feels like they have to be.
I think you're right. They're right up there. I can't think of many other nations with their football kind of heritage, history, prestige that haven't lifted the trophy. So, yeah, it's about time. I guess that's what Dutch fans will probably be saying. And I think
Yeah.
the team unit has really surprised me at this tournament. I think as we
Yeah.
look through the lineups,
They've
man
never
to
had
man,
that. Yeah, they've always been kind of one of those teams that seemed like it
the
was at
opposite.
odds with one another. Like, and not to
Yeah.
put blame on any individual, but like the Wesley Snyder years felt like they were lost because there were so many different ideas and cliques within the team. This
Mm.
does feel like a true team.
Yeah, it does. It's like it's always been opposite for them, right? They've kind of been individuals first and team second, where it's the other way around. But let's go through the team news. Starting lineup. I mean, the one big change for the Netherlands is Stevie Bergwijn, former Tottenham Hotspur striker, coming in up top. But aside from that, it's obviously the 3-4-1-2. We think maybe Memphis will drop a little bit deeper and play as like
Yeah.
sort of a number 10 and maybe give them an extra
Mhm.
man in midfield. But what do you think about that decision? It might be Cody Gakpo playing that role as well, by the way. It just depends how it pans out. But for the
Yeah.
Netherlands, it's quite a bold move, I think, from Louis van Gaal to kind of play those two attackers right up there. So I'm intrigued to see what you think about it.
I like it. I think it's Louis is obviously one of the most, if not the most experienced coaches at this tournament, and one of the smartest as well, one of the most practical too. And I think that is kind of an admission that we might not have a lot of the ball in this game. We might have to really defend. And Bergwijn, if there is one thing that he does incredibly well, it is receive the ball to begin a counterattack and get up the field very, very quickly. He did it time and time again for Spurs. He combined very, very well with Harry Kane on counterattacks and Son as well. That was I was almost the trio for Spurs at one time. And so I think if you look at the three that the Netherlands have up there together, I love the thought of those three kind of working together on the counterattack. Everything else is very kind of workman-like, a little bit defensive in the back and in the midfield as well. And so I feel like they're going to be pretty solid. And if those three can get out in open space, we've seen Argentina defensively. They don't have the most mobile center backs. They don't have the greatest range to cover back there. And so I could see Louis kind of pulling out that perfect masterclass plan once again.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We focus now on the Argentine starting lineup. Obviously, there's been a few changes made to that from their victory against Australia last time out, and it looks like Andy they've gone to a back three as well, or back five, to kind of match up against the Dutch and go to that similar system. So, what do you make of that? I think Lissandro Martinez, you almost had to find a way for him in the starting lineup, how he's been playing coming on, and the two fullbacks, Molina, Acuna, obviously have been good too, but.
Yeah.
It's interesting, right? The way that they've set up. So slightly more defensive approach from Argentina probably shows the respect that they're given to the Netherlands.
Yeah, they both kind of had the same idea coming into this game, didn't they? And it's Depay, Bergvine, Gakpo, Messi, Alvarez, probably McAllister will be the one from midfield pushing on and joining them the most. Like that's a really, really intriguing matchup. Martinez, yeah, it's as much as of the ball as they're going to have. I do think you need him there along the back line to help bring it out and start building up play because they don't have a creator in midfield at the moment.
No, they don't. And the game has just kicked off, by the way. So a reminder, thanks to everyone for joining us for this watch along. Andy and I love doing this and chatting with you guys. So send in your questions throughout. We'll answer any questions you have about Netherlands, Argentina, the World Cup in general, because obviously we're going to react to the crazy scenes of Croatia beating red hot favourites, Brazil on penalty kicks to reach the semi-finals of the second straight tournament. And that's, again, blown the tournament wide open. So let us know in the comments where you're watching from. And I want to remind you, if you're watching in the USA, you can pull up a stream on Peacock or on Telemundo in Spanish and watch along with us. Have that stream muted, have us all the way up on the volume, obviously, so you can hear us and get your questions in, and we'll answer them. And you can watch in the USA in English on Fox as well and on their channels. So just so you know, you might be at work, you might be elsewhere on a Friday, depending on what time it is. Yeah, it might be difficult for you to watch the game, but you're watching along with us and we'll keep you updated on what's going on. So a couple minutes into the game, kind of stacking out, Andy, like Bergwijn's on the right, Gakpo's central, Depay's left. So I don't know if it's kind of flopping between one being deep, two being high, and two being deep, one being high, right? Looks quite flexible for the Dutch up top there.
Yeah, I would imagine we see 60 minutes of Bergwijn in this game, and it's going to be the hardest running, hardest pressing, most energy filled 60 minutes you maybe have ever seen from an attacking player. He is, and already, 2 minutes into the game, he is at full sprint every press of the ball along that left side for Argentina. And I think that to bring home 2 points that we already talked about, I think putting him on that side to put the pressure on Martinez with the ball over there, knowing how much they're going to try and progress it up the left side of the field. I think that was very, very specific and targeted by Louis.
Absolutely. Got some questions coming in already, but let us know where in the world you're watching from. Burger families in Croatia or Netherlands, Croatia.
I'd like to be in Croatia right now.
I know. That's pretty incredible. So let us know where in the world you're watching from. And Andrea's got a comment here. Crazy that Brazil lost. I guess while the early knockings of this Netherlands-Argentina game, we know Croatia is now the opponent, right, for whoever wins this one. And all of a sudden, it seems like this tournament has really, really opened up. So obviously I was covering the Brazil game against Croatia for Pro Soccer Talk and NBCSports.com. And Brazil never really seemed to have control of that game, right? In midfield, Croatia were ticking over. In the second half, they created some really good chances, but the goalkeeper for Croatia, Levakovic, again was the hero, making some great save. Guardiola was great back there. Modric, Brozovic, Kovacic, excellent in midfield. And then I think it was deserved for Croatia to kind of surge back in extra time and get it to penalty kicks. But it was tough, I think, to see Neymar in tears and a lot of those Brazilian players in tears because it's there's going to be a lot of pressure on them now to come back from that. And I don't think a lot of those young players have got time on their side, but it's going to be really tough mentally, right, to come back from losing in the World Cup quarterfinal on penalty kicks. The red hot favourites to win the whole thing. And that was in the World Cup of shocks. That was a huge shock. And as Grant joins us from Venezuela there, go Argentina. Pretty sure a lot of Argentina fans are very happy to see Brazil knocked out of the tournament.
Yeah, and we already talked about that half of the bracket being fairly open. Argentina, obviously a threat over there. The Netherlands, as we've seen more of them, I think they've become more of a threat. But it was always about Brazil. Who can challenge Brazil? Brazil would meet so-and-so in this round. Brazil would meet so-and-so in this round. And it was going to be the semifinals until they would have to face either the Netherlands or Argentina, this game that we're watching right here. And the fact that they're not even involved in it now, it's really shocking. And I got to disagree a little bit just about, I don't know how the game went. No big chances from Croatia, even including the goal, not considered truly a big chance. And Brazil had, I think, 4 of them. They out XG'd them by 2 full goals. It was a lot of little chances and opportunities that kind of added up a lot over the course of 90 and 120 minutes, but it never felt like Croatia truly threatened Brazil. Now, Croatia did an incredible job of just kind of controlling the game and playing it on their terms and not letting Brazil settle in and get super comfortable, like you said. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's tournament experience right there. Like we know that they were in the final 4 years ago. We know that they've made a lot of they've made runs in the Euros as well, and you've got a midfield with over 300 appearances between them. Like you can beat any team in the world if you have that solid unit in that part of the field with the talent that those three have.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. We got Double A from Richmond, Virginia. Susan Adler, hello to you from Minneapolis, Minnesota. US is in the house. This is cool to see where you're all watching in from. So let us know where in the world you're watching and joining us from. 0-0 early on, Netherlands against Argentina. And it's intriguing to see. Obviously, we're on Lionel Messi watch, right? Whenever he's playing for the full 90 minutes. And we're just seeing him kind of just stand around like he usually does, Andy, for most of the game.
That's when he's at his most dangerous.
Yeah, occupying those little positions where defenders and midfielders just switch off, and if you lose them for a split second, then that's danger. So yeah, it's interesting to see as Argentina have been given a lot of the ball out wide, and the Netherlands seem pretty happy to allow them to do that because they got extra cover defensively, right, when that happens. So
well, and you've got Messi and Alvarez, 5'5", 5'7" in the middle. Cross it all you want, Argentina. We will let you have 300 crosses in this game because you got Virgil van Dijk back there. Obviously, very, very strong and accomplished in the air. This is early on, obviously, but like it's kind of playing into the Netherlands' hands right now. And it feels like Louis' changes have kind of they've set the opening stage, I guess, for the game. And it'll be about how Argentina responds.
Yeah, it seems like the Netherlands playing with that kind of attacking intent and having more players higher up the pitch is set the tone for Argentina, who like to get on the front foot, right? We've seen them be aggressive defensively. And they just, a lot of their work is, they're chasing down on the halfway line rather than 20 or 30 yards from the Netherlands goal. So, yeah, pretty shrewd from Louis van Gaal. And let's see if we'll see some more of his dance moves celebrating like we did after the last 16.
Right, did anybody complain about him dancing, or was it just the Brazil players that caught filters for that?
I don't know. I think, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, did the Netherlands actually win the World Cup?" I missed that. So I would say let anybody enjoy a win. If you're going to win in the World Cup, it doesn't really matter. So
yes,
we're all here to have a good time. Got a lot of people from across Texas, Joseph O'Hanlon's in Ireland, Astros in Texas. Thanks so much for joining us. And yeah, Andy, this is interesting as we see this tactical battle play out, right? And do you want to fill us in on what just happened here?
So I don't know if I'm ahead of you right now at this point, but that pass out from Emi Martinez was terrifying from an Argentina perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, almost just gave the ball away 6 yards from his own goal with nobody back. Like the pressure right now, no, excuse me, I had that completely backwards. Netherlands keeper with the pass out right there, just playing with fire at the moment. Like Argentina, not really known for the high energy press all the way up the field. But if you're going to take that kind of time on the ball in the penalty area, you're kind of asking for it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's tight and tense early on in this game. We've got some comments from the Burger family saying, "Who do we think is going to win this game?" Let's go with our predictions. What did we say? I can't remember. It's so much has happened in the World Cup since we focused on this. I think I actually had the Netherlands somehow squeezing by. I just think, like we said earlier, the individual talent is there, but as a team unit and the manager Louis van Gaal, the way he set them up, they just seem to have really grown into this tournament. And maybe again, it's slight bias from watching them score those goals against the US and kind of just be really good tactically, and thinking that they are a superior, even better team than we know that they are. But what do you think? What's your prediction? Because obviously Argentina have the Messi trump card.
Yeah, but I would say Netherlands have probably impressed more at this tournament. Would you say? Obviously, not been beaten by Saudi Arabia in the Open or what they did in their knockout round. Like Argentina, they didn't squeak by. 2-1 really, really flattered Australia in that game, and obviously they got the goal late on and everything. But you would have expected, I think, a little bit more from them in that game. You're into the knockout rounds, and you're one of the favorites. Really put down a marker and put everybody at the tournament on notice. And they didn't do that. And it felt like the Netherlands did that just a little bit more. And so, in terms of momentum, and I do think that team factor really exists within that Netherlands squad. Not that it doesn't for Argentina, that they're a strong group, that a lot of these guys were together last year when they went on and they won Copa America, finally got Messi a trophy. But I don't know. I think I'm slightly leaning towards the Netherlands.
There's not much in it though, right? It's like
No,
55-45,
no.
like
And
60-40
it's
maybe
what's
most.
making it such a good game as well.
Yeah. So yeah, get your score predictions in the comments. We'd love to see what you guys. There's a bit of a poll. Who thinks the Netherlands are going to win? Who thinks Argentina? Are we going to see more? We could have more extra time and penalty kick drama here today, Andy. So we could be locked in for a very long watch along. So everyone get prepared for that. The way this World Cup is going. A lot of comments coming in. Okay. Frederick says, I want Messi to win a World Cup to break Pele's record. I think that is, if your team is still in the competition, everybody kind of wants, every neutral out there, right? That is a storyline they're rooting for right now. For what Messi has given to the game over the last few decades and his brilliance consistently. And I think just to kind of shut up everyone who says, well, he's got to win the World Cup. Pele, Maradona did it. He'll never be, in that same kind of, which I think he's already there. But
Yeah.
it would just have that final little cherry on top for his incredible career, right? If he can win the World Cup with Argentina. And we saw, like you mentioned, Copa America last summer, how delighted the whole Argentine team was just to win it for him. And they felt like, they finally did something for him when he's been doing incredible things for them for so many years.
Yeah, I'm past the idea that this player needs to win this to be considered this and all that. It's a team sport, and so it doesn't quite work that way. Lionel Messi was brilliant for 15 years for Barcelona. He didn't win the Champions League every single season. It wasn't Messi's fault that they didn't win the Champions League every single season. So I think like the team element has to come into that as well. But also, like I can't imagine like what would be a cooler thing to watch, to witness in sports. One of the all-time greats that we have, like Messi is about the same age as us, and so like we have kind of grown, and just all we know really about football around the world is Messi's the best player. Like his reign has been our entire adult lives, and so to see him lift a World Cup trophy would just be one of the coolest moments to cap off, obviously, what is an incredible career, the cherry on top, and everything as you say. But like selfishly, that would be amazing for us to witness as well. Whether you are a huge Messi fan or not, I think it's something that people would remember truly, truly forever.
Oh, I think so. We got a lot of people in the comments here getting involved. What do we got here? I want the World Cup final, David, to be Portugal versus Argentina and Messi to win the World Cup. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad one, I guess. Ronaldo against Messi in the World Cup final, even though one of those players is a much more important player for their national teams right now. Burger Family says we need Messi or Ronaldo to win. Double A is giving a shout out to Virgil van Dijk. And a lot of you there in the comments were giving predictions about 1-1 draw, 4-2 win to Argentina on penalty kicks. See, mostly everyone was favouring Argentina in the comments there. So, that's interesting, I think. And a Messi hat-trick and a 3-0 win for Argentina was one of the comments I saw. Oh, there you go, from Stanley. So, everyone's saying it's all not all about Messi. That's right. But, we know that. But the storylines are swirling, right? So, Maurice, I totally agree with you there. But when he's that good, it's difficult not to talk about him all the time.
Yeah.
But Argentina have had some players step up at this tournament, Andy, right? And as we are 15 minutes into the game, slow, sluggish start from both teams, really just maybe not sluggish, but kind of a chess game, right? Methodical.
Yeah.
No one's really moving out of position. No one's really done anything with real purpose or took any chances yet in terms of pushing further forward. So kind of what we expected, right, when we saw the team sheets. But
yeah, this is the beautiful game, but I don't think it's going to be a beautiful game in this one. I get very, very cagey is always the word that we use for these kind of tactical back and forths. We'll make a little change, force you to adjust. You'll make a change, force us to adjust. And I think there's a lot of that going on because not just two smart coaches, but two also very veteran and experienced teams as well, and teams that are obviously put the players play at some of the biggest clubs in the world, and so the understanding, just the mental side of the game, is so high in this one that the football IQ on the field on display is just absolutely incredible. I do think this feels like the game that Julian Alvarez, or maybe it's a forward off the bench, is going to need to be the one that does it. Like, the chances are not going to be on a plate in this one. It feels like it's going to be scrappy chances, balls in the box, and like Alvarez has shown in his limited number of appearances for Man City and also at this tournament, he is that type of player. He is kind of that bulldog in the penalty area, willing to get in there, scrap, put his nose into somewhere that nobody else wants to put their nose to get on the ball and find the back of the net. So I'm kind of watching him almost as much as I'm watching Messi, because we know Messi's going to have pressure on him. We know they're going to be paying attention. We know they're going to try and limit his effect as much as possible. And so that puts, to me, the onus onto Alvarez.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's been good, right? And he's still so young. And it's incredible to see him at Man City, him and Erling Haaland for the next however many years they're playing. It's not bad.
And how quickly players progress playing under Pep Guardiola at that age, especially. Yeah. Like, the player that he is now versus the player he's going to be 4 years from now at the next World Cup, we can eat Messi or not, we can probably already start to look and say, oh, no, they're going to be pretty good at that one too.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Sorry, just having a bit of a snack there, just to load up before this tense and during this tense World Cup quarterfinal. Mark says, come on, the Netherlands. Maurice says, I was hoping to see Mexico and Argentina go to the World Cup. Unfortunately, we always have next World Cup. Yeah, I mean, obviously Mexico pushed Argentina pretty close, right, in the group stage game when it was 0-0 until the second half, and then Messi provided that moment of magic, which unlocked everything. And but we had fun watching Mexico at this tournament, especially when they almost got through. We did one of these watch-alongs, right, on their final group stage game when they almost did it with that crazy win against Saudi Arabia, and then combined with Poland against Argentina. What was going on there? So Netherlands nearly getting in down the right. We saw that. Was that Timber playing the ball in? Or I think so, right? Stevie Bergwijn.
Dumfries played that one in for Bergwijn into the channel there. Oh, yeah. See, that's going to be there all game, because if you look at the center backs, the back line for Argentina, I guess, Romero on the right, not great in space. Otamendi, 35 years old. You want to make him run as much as you possibly can. And Martinez, obviously not a physical presence in the way that Virgil van Dijk or even Nathan Ake on the other side, have some stature to them. I think kind of a not direct approach, but trying to play through two lines at a time, I think, is where the Netherlands are going to have the most success, because that's a very stout midfield for Argentina. There's a lot of ball winning ability in there. There's a lot of players that'll just get in the way and cause a problem as you try to play through. So I think if they can kind of bypass part of that area in a very targeted way, not just lumping long balls up there, the pace of Depay, the pace of Bergwijn, the pace, and also just the tactical understanding of when to arrive late from Gakpo has been one of the most impressive things from him. And I think one of the things that makes me think, at least, he's truly a special player, because he has that, obviously, the physical skills, but he has that mental understanding of the game.
Definitely. So early on in Argentina against the Netherlands, and still 0-0. I don't know. In the comments, we've got some really interesting. So Brazil lacks a good goalkeeper, from Traceler. I think probably they had two of the best goalkeepers in the world, to be totally honest. But maybe that's more a hint towards they'd like to have seen Edison, maybe in penalty kick situations over Alisson. I think they're both pretty good. Off the top of my head, I would probably guess that maybe Edison has saved more penalties than Alisson. I can't really remember too many big penalty kick saves. I don't know. They really aren't ever really in that situation too much. They play for two powerhouse teams who hardly ever give penalties.
I was going to say, a cynic would say, well, Liverpool and Manchester City never give away penalties because they're the big boys, and so they, who would know?
But a goalkeeper wasn't Brazil's problem. That's not the reason why. I can't believe I'm saying it. They're out of the World Cup. They are out of the World Cup. They lost on penalties to Croatia, but it was more their I thought they were quite cavalier the way they went at Croatia. They kind of almost said, "Oh, we don't really need midfield. We'll get the ball to Rafinha, Vinicius, Neymar, and Richarlison, who all started." And then they had a problem, right? The disconnect between midfield and attack. Croatia were like, "We're fine with that. We'll just plug the
Yeah.
gap, stop you getting the ball to them." And they had no space in behind to attack. As the Netherlands getting behind here, little turn there. I think it's from Memphis, but Otamendi clearing it for a corner to the Netherlands. So, Andy, that is again, when we talk about game plans, that's the Netherlands are looking to play pretty direct pretty soon and get Gakpo, Memphis Depay, and Stevie Bergwijn in behind very, very often, aren't they?
Yeah, right side, left side. I think that's going to be, and especially if you look at the midfielders they've got in there. Like Frankie De Jong, such a good passer, has really, really good vision. Like he can drop that ball in there just about any time, and they don't even need to get it into the midfield to do it either. Like Virgil van Dijk can play that ball to the right side or to the left side. Like there's a lot of different ways that the Netherlands can get the ball in the final third without really having to work too hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Roger's got an interesting comment here. I was hoping to see CR7, Messi, Kylian, and Neymar in the semis. Neymar just choked. Let's see what happens. I mean, yeah, it's interesting, right? It's like these semifinals could go one or two ways. You could have, superstars galore in there, or they could kind of just be pretty good teams, but easily Netherlands, Morocco, Croatia, and then dare I say, if England beat France, then those are four teams that probably aren't, the most.
Okay, I see what we're doing here. We're setting up the easiest World
No,
Cup semifinals for England. So I understand now. I get it.
no, it's a possibility. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, but you mentioned, but some of the teams you mentioned there, and sorry to cut you off,
Oh,
but
Messi just firing one over from 30 yards out. So sorry to cut you off. You go.
there's a lot of things in common with those teams. Like those are the best team units at this World Cup, are they not? And I think I would put England into there as well. Like even probably slightly above France. We know the talent for France is well above, but in terms of just having a working understanding, obviously like fostered a very, very good relationship within the squad. Yeah, I would say those probably are the four, and I would say Netherlands and Croatia might be the two most complete and well-rounded teams. And the fact that we might see them in the semifinal, guaranteeing not a surprise or just a new face into the final. Even though Croatia had been there 4 years ago, like it still feels like they're new onto the scene of this part of international football in the world, like the latter stages of the World Cup. I think it would be really, really interesting. I think it would be fitting for this tournament as well because it's been so chaotic, it's been so unpredictable. It kind of feels like that would be the right way to go out.
Yeah, really interesting there. I don't know if it was like some kind of signal, but Frankie de Jong just got on the ball and then started tapping his head like this, and everyone started kind of moving for it's like kind of basketball-esque there. And we know that there's patterns of play teams work on, but in the actual run of the game there, I can't remember the last time I've actually seen that vivid and that obvious, really, that a signal was getting sent out. Okay. Messi in memory of Diego, obviously the great Diego Maradona. I hope they keep fighting without getting frustrated. They feel defeated ahead of time in previous cups instead of keep playing. Obviously, a lot of pressure, right, on this Argentine team always, but especially with Messi as well, because it's the clock's ticking. We're going to have this genius for so many more World Cups, and he's already pretty much said this is going to be his last World Cup. But I still think he'll probably be around in 3.5 years' time in the US. But wait and see what happens, I guess, here, right? It depends. If they win it now, then
if he's playing in MLS,
edge of the box. Ooh, Stevie Bergwijn, Memphis Depay combining and just dragging a shot wide of the post. But the Dutch there, good little interchange of play, and I believe it was Bergwijn. Yeah, Bergwijn on his left foot just dragged it wide the far post. But good luck there for the Dutch. But yeah, I guess, with Argentina, it is always that kind of destiny thing with Messi as well, right?
Argentina look really, really terrified of the Dutch pace right now because when they went to the overhead shot of that chance right there on the replay, there was 5 white and blue shirts all around the ball, and they left all the space in behind the defense wide open. And if that touch coming off, I couldn't tell if it was Depay or Bergwijn who caught it off the chest and didn't get it clean, wasn't able to get it out from under their feet immediately and quick enough. If that ball comes off the chest a little more, that's a goal. That's 1-0 right there because that space was completely pulled open by the movement of the Dutch forward. Like, and that's the great thing about that little trio there is the talent. Obviously, we can all see that, but the movement and the understanding that they've shown already of how to play together and play off of one another, that is going to be dangerous for the entire game. Like, there's nothing that Argentina can do to take that out or to take that away from the Netherlands.
And they're almost the Netherlands switching to a back four now. It's quite interesting to see Nathan Ake pushing really high into midfield as well when Argentina are on the ball. So this is an incredible tactical battle, to be honest. And you can see Scaloni there, the Argentine coach, bellowing instructions, saying, guys, he's putting 5 up and 1 and 1. And I think he's just a little bit concerned with the way it's panning out right now for Argentina.
Usually we see when teams try to get an extra body in midfield, it's a forward or a winger that they'll drop in. But I don't know that I've ever seen a coach push a defender further forward to add numbers into the midfield. But if you think about it, if you're not worried about the balls in behind, and that's not really how Argentina are looking to play, you don't necessarily need 3 center backs back there. And if you've got someone who, I think Nathan Ake could do a job for a lot of Premier League teams as a defensive midfielder, because of how good he is on the ball, you give him a little bit more freedom, kind of a free. We've joked about Kevin De Bruyne as a free 8 has been kind of the position for him. Nathan Ake is just a free 5, kind of floating around the left side of the field, wandering into midfield. Okay, I'll go back to defense. It's interesting to watch. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah, definitely. We've got so many great comments and questions coming in, so everyone just keep them coming. We'll get to as many as we possibly can. Melissa Rye says the Dutch are underestimated. Not by us. We both picked them to win. Yeah, you're right. Generally, Melissa, they are. And I think there's, again, the star power we talked about when you focus on Mbappe, Neymar, Ronaldo, Messi, just gravitate towards picking those kind of teams as favourites. But one of them's gone in Brazil. Let's see what happens tonight. And then let's see what happens in the future. And tomorrow, obviously, Morocco, Portugal, and then England against France, a huge game where some stars are going to collide there. So, yeah, certainly. Mark's joining us. Okay, Tressler says only Argentina and Portugal left for my liking. Spain, Uruguay, and Brazil gone. All right, that wouldn't be a bad final, right? Argentina against Portugal with all the narratives spinning there. And I think Portugal are kind of similar to the Netherlands and maybe Argentina a little bit too, where they have star players, but no, actually Argentina and Portugal are very comparable. I think they've got these 2 huge superstars, but their team unit has become a lot better and a lot less reliable on them. I think that's the big thing for Argentina. I wouldn't say Messi has been incredible. He's had incredible moments, scored great goals, and is making them tick, but they're not relying on him anymore, right? He's just that extra last little, again, cherry on top of the cake to say, all right, we can work hard as a unit, and we know this guy 9 times out of 10. We get the ball to him in an important moment, he's probably going to do the business.
Yeah, that was always the narrative around both of them internationally. It's a shame that these 2 nations couldn't have put these teams around them at 24, at 28, even at 32. Like, to have seen these 2 players as good as they've been for their entire careers on the international stage, it's been aside from Ronaldo getting winning the Euros in 2016. It's been all heartbreak for both of them. And had they had these teams that they have now 10 years ago, it feels like we might have seen them in the final of a World Cup or 2 already. We wouldn't be talking about, well, can we get this at 35 and 38 years old or whatever they're at right now? Like, it would have been as much of a spectacle as it would be now. Oh, could you imagine if it was 10 years ago?
That'd be amazing. And the Dutch are coming down the right-hand side here, getting a lot of the ball. Good little cross to the back post. Oh, that's what we saw against the US, right? Working it down one flank, overloading on the opposite side, getting a cross into the back post. They're making it look very easy in these situations. So, wish both of the teams all the best. That's one comment coming in. I think there's a lot to like about these 2 teams. Obviously, the kits, number one, iconic World Cup kits, right? When you think about, all the times they played in World Cup history against each other, these 2 kits right here are just iconic.
And right on the heels of Croatia, Brazil, the checkerboard versus the yellows. Like, what a day of kits.
Absolutely. Mark Galassini says it's snowing here in Milwaukee. Andy, you're in Kansas City. Is it cold enough there to be snowing like that? It's cold in here in England. Much colder than it usually is, but no snow here.
No, not yet. Not yet. I'm sure it's not long around the corner.
Oh, it's coming. Talking about we know what's coming. Andrea, hi to you again. Thanks for tuning in. I'm hoping Morocco can pull off a win tomorrow. And then she asked me if I was ready for tomorrow, obviously with the England game in mind. So I don't think I'll ever be ready for an England game. You just kind of like strap in, and it's kind of like going to the dentist a little bit. Don't really like it, but it has to be done. And especially against this France attack, I'm really worried about are England going to take away their attacking flair and in midfield, how well they've been playing by going to a back three with Kyle Walker as the right-sided centre-back, Trippier right wing-back, to nullify or try to nullify as best as they can Mbappe? Or do they just go for a flat back four and then deal with the consequences? Intriguing, right, Andy? What would you do if you're Gareth Southgate coming up against Mbappe in this France attack? Because it's not just him, right? Griezmann, Dembele, Giroud have all been playing really well in this World Cup.
Yeah, to me, I think you need the X. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, yellow card. It looks like for Scaloni or one of his assistant coaches, I think. I think it's one of his assistant coaches. Yellow card on the sidelines. Referee Alanos is, he's Lahus is there. There he is. He's back in the middle. And he's already dishing out yellow cards to the Argentine coaching staff. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, on England's approach against France.
Yeah, I think you need the extra body in midfield. And so I don't know that I would actually, I guess you can achieve that by going with a 3-man back line, and you've got the full back or the wing backs, I guess, then in that case, that will pinch in a little bit more. But then who would it be, I guess, on the right? Like, is it Kieran Trippier on the right side if Kyle Walker's going to play inside of him? I like his on-ball ability. I like the way that he can kind of play England out of a little bit of trouble, and obviously create going forward. I think the midfield needs Jordan Henderson, though. I think you need somebody who can attach himself to Griezmann for 90 minutes or 120 minutes, whatever it's going to be, and just say, we need his impact to be as close to zero as possible. Jordan, can you make that happen? I think if there's a player, certainly in England's squad, and probably in a lot of countries and leagues and teams around the world, Jordan Henderson's probably one of the right guys to do it. And so I'd be shocked if he's not in the team, and I think I'd be a little disappointed if he wasn't as well.
Yeah.
Is that too defensive? Because I guess, I don't know, you 5 defenders on the field, a true defensive midfielder as well. Like that's 6 players that are pretty typically, there for defensive reasons.
You got to get the balance right, I think. I probably would go with the back three. I think Mbappe is that good and can change a game in a moment. And I think the fact that England is so comfortable and for most of the last few years have played that way. I think if you can play that way in a situation that really calls for it, then I would probably do it. I think, we got a chance here for Argentina. Rodrigo de Paul just side footing towards goal, but Argentina looking a bit more lively in attack. But yeah, I think for England, it makes sense to at least start that way, see how it pans out, and then you can change it. You could take off a Trippier and bring on a more attacking player or Jordan Henderson. I think they might start with Bellingham and Rice to kind of give them a bit more forward impetus in midfield, especially with Bellingham to knit it together. But yeah, it's intriguing. I think France's midfield and even their defense, that's where their weakness is. Obviously, going forward, very good, but it's going to be a really interesting one. So thanks for asking about that, Andrea. Ask me again tomorrow around this time and see how I'm doing then. It's going to be intriguing. Jameson Frost said it's not snowing here in Maine, but I mean, you have the name for it, to be fair. So, a great name for wintry weather. And yeah, I feel like it gets pretty cold in Maine. Anyway, welcome to Pro Weather Talk, watching along wherever you are.
Well, there's 3 shots in the game so far. What else are we going to do?
It's a slow burner. It's a slow burner for sure.
Yeah.
Andrea said, is this the end of Ronaldo? Oh, we have a goal.
Yeah.
We have a goal
sure
for Argentina. 1-0.
That pass.
I was just looking at the offside flag to see if the offside flag was going to go up. I'd love to see a replay of this, but at the moment, Argentina are celebrating 1-0 up against the Netherlands, 35 minutes in.
God, whoever said earlier, and I agree, like it's not all about Messi. There is a whole team there, but that pass right there, he drops into midfield. Like you said it earlier, just walking around. He's just out on the field. You lose track of him for half a second. You give him a half a yard of space, and he just slots it through 4 defenders, right into the perfect spot. Why do we expect anything else from him?
That is just absolutely incredible from Lionel Messi.
Oh, he
Bamboozled
cuts it.
Nathan Ake. Saw a pass that nobody else saw there. Just close
He split 4 defenders and cut it back diagonally across a lane of
Wow.
defenders as well. Like, that wasn't just a straight through ball. He went through a line of defenders and across a line of defenders as well, and put it right on the foot in such a way that it was easy to control and take forward and finish the chance. That is just, I
Wow.
mean, that pass looks simple, but that is one of the best passes that you'll ever see.
And Molina, right, the right wing back, getting on the
Yeah.
end of that all the way up in the penalty box and taking it really calmly as well, slotting it away. So Molina putting Argentina 1-0 up. 10 minutes
How do you
before
know that pass is on? How do you know that ball is even there?
he's basically not playing the same game as everybody else
Oh,
in the world, right? It's incredible. Wow.
goodness.
So, thanks for joining us on this watch along. Remember, quick reminder to everyone asking in the comments, you can watch in Spanish in the USA on Telemundo and on Peacock, our partners. Pull up that stream, mute it, have our stream nice and loud, get your questions in. We'll answer as many as we possibly can. And then you can watch in the US in English on Fox as well, reminder. So thanks everyone for joining us. This is really amazing to witness this magic together, right, Andy? I mean, you're still salivating over that Messi pass, aren't you?
Yeah. Upon like the 3rd or 4th replay, I just realized I don't think he was looking at who he passed it to. I think he did the Patrick Mahomes look away, pass it over there, and it was perfect.
How did he even see it? I just don't know how he even saw that. Wow. All right, let's see if the Netherlands can respond, right?
They're set up for it though.
Yeah, they are. This is exactly what Argentina wanted though. Get a goal first half, and then now the Netherlands have to take more chances, and then Messi can just pick them off like he already did. So incredible. Cheese said, I think Messi will score first. So well done to you, Cheese. We don't have any prize to give you for predicting that, but apart from a pat on the back. And yeah, I think you were saying what everyone was hoping would happen. Lionel Messi showing up, and he didn't score first, but he basically created that goal. So you were willing him to score first. But what a great pass through to set up that goal for Argentina and Molina to slot home. But yeah, that is the assist of, I don't know, assist of the tournament. It's up there though, right? It's right up there.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know any better than that.
I can't. It's hard to imagine somebody doing a better assist than that, let alone having actually seen one. Like, that's how good that ball was, and the vision on that. And I'm thinking now, because of the way that Argentina are set up, what do you think about Di Maria not being out there? Because typically that's his spot there on that right side. He's the one making those kind of diagonal runs in. And since you've got an extra body in midfield, the way that we've talked about already with Enzo Fernandez coming into the starting lineup, it is the fullback overlapping and given that much more freedom. And obviously, a lot quicker and more fleet of foot than Angel Di Maria at this point. It feels like this Argentina team is a lot more, and I think we've talked about it. Like, Di Maria felt like the weak link, especially of the attack for this team. And so to get him out of there, it feels like Argentina have unlocked a little bit more of, I don't know, that it's not that they were predictable in attack, but it was always kind of slow. It was always a little bit plodding, and so I think it was easy to react when they had the ball, especially around the penalty area. But without him out there, I think it changes a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Scaloni here has pulled off a bit of a tactical masterclass against, he's at very different points of his career to Louis van Gaal. But as Argentina come on the attack again, Messi on the edge of the box, twisting and turning from Ake, gets a low shot on goal, but it's saved pretty easily in the end, Andy. But again, just Argentina just cranking through the gears now, right? When they get the ball in the final third and stretching the Netherlands, and Netherlands do not look comfortable. And I think this is a great decision to go man for man almost with the Netherlands, right? With the wing backs, and Argentina seem like they're really, really enjoying that bit of the one-on-one battle and the fact that they can push up the fullbacks further.
Yeah.
And I think that gets the best out of Alvarez and Messi because they have more players
Yeah.
to combine with and cut inside with.
Yeah. How ironic and how funny is the World Cup? The Netherlands so desperately right now need to get to halftime, just 1-0 down. What was the case last
Mm.
weekend? The U.S. against the Netherlands so desperately needed to get to halftime, 1-0 down, or and to give up the goal when they did early, just before halftime, like completely changed that game. And so I look at the Netherlands right now teetering like very, very dangerously because as they're trying to play it out of the back, that last chance, completely a lazy ball into midfield. Lissandro Martinez steps up and just slides right in, easily wins it, and that's a chance going back the other way.
4 minutes to go. Netherlands have, in the first half, Netherlands have a dangerous free kick on the right. Cody Gakpo, Daley Blind standing over it. Going to whip it in towards the penalty spot. Daley Blind with his left foot. Oh, no, right foot, Gakpo. Great ball in. Oh, Van Dijk. A load of others were in there. I think it's been given as a free kick against the Netherlands for a push somewhere. But that was... I'm not sure Van Dijk did much wrong there, to be perfectly honest. I think someone just fell over. But, yeah, that's... They shouldn't really be too worried. I think the Netherlands, if they can get to halftime, like you said, and it's only 1-0. They've had their moments in this game. Bergwijn and Memphis when they can get them in behind, but it's difficult now. You kind of feel like maybe who do they bring on to kind of maybe unlock the Argentine defense? Because Argentina can just sit back a bit deeper now, can't they? And just they're in the power situation, if you will, having a goal lead with just over a half to go in a World Cup quarterfinal. So looking at the bench, obviously, I don't know, Xavi Simons maybe. He could be the player to really unlock. I mean,
I could also see Davy Klaassen, who's
Yeah.
been used at this tournament. He'll progress the ball a lot more through midfield. Like De Jong, we know what he wants to do. He wants on the ball, quick, short passes, and just moving along. That works if you've got a more either a ball progressor or a chance creator alongside him. It doesn't feel like Netherlands have that in the midfield. And I think that's part of the way that they set up. And so the fact that we have seen Klaassen at this tournament, I believe he started a game as well. I think he might be the first one that we see off the bench. I don't think it'll be super early though, because aside from the goal though, it does feel like the Netherlands game plan is working pretty well. Like their game plan wasn't to create a ton of chances. It was to limit Argentina. And it's been a genius pass against 4 defenders from Messi that undid them. And that happens.
Yeah, you can't really prepare for that, right? Even if you know you're facing Lionel Messi, there's just some things in football that you can have all the plans in the world to counteract, and it's just you have to just hold your hands up. And Louis van Gaal is a very experienced manager. He's seen that from many players over the years against his team. So I don't think he'll be upset with the way the Netherlands have played, but want to see a bit more from him. And if that is making a change to kind of take off one of those centre backs, maybe I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how they come out for the second half. Just incredible vision from Messi. Basically, is the difference right now.
That's one of those highlights that I think obviously will stick in people's minds, but I think it's one of those that's worth going back and a year from now, 2 years from now, just relive it again. And that's kind of what I said at the beginning of the game. We were talking about if Messi could win a World Cup and for his legacy and all that, like the joy that it would be to see Messi win a World Cup, like it was on display right there with that pass. He's the only person he's the only human in the stadium that saw that pass as even a possibility to try that, let alone actually pull it off. So it's just, we should really appreciate what's happening right now. I don't think we do that enough these days, and live in the moment, I guess, with this World Cup and with Messi.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jameson says, I hope Messi can pull it through. Owen says, come on, Messi, get another goal to win for the US fans. A lot of good comments coming in here. We got some comments here. Andrea, is Mbappe better than Messi?
Right now, yeah.
PSG. Right now, he is right. It's weird to say Mbappe's in the best form of any player at this tournament. Messi is
Yeah.
the best overall player at this
Yeah,
tournament,
I'll
right?
put it this way, Mbappe over 90 minutes, but I think Messi in like 2 moments a game, the class that is still and will always be within him in those moments. And not that Mbappe
Oh
is,
yeah,
shies away from the big moment, but in the big moment, Messi is still 100% of peak Messi.
absolutely. 45th minute, the clock's just about to click for stoppage time at the end of the first half, but another dangerous free kick for the Netherlands on the other flank now. Cody Gakpo, is he going to whip it in? An in swinger, or are we going to see with his right, or are we going to see a outswinger from Daley Blind's left foot? It's Gakpo with the in swinger. Great ball. Oh, and Nathan Ake went down in the box. Looked like he was close to getting on the end of that, Andy. He's kind of calling for. Was he clipped there? I think at the back post. Hold.
On first
No.
watch, it looks like feet are just tangling up with a
Yeah,
lot of
I think.
bodies in a small space.
Yeah, Molina. I think he was
Yeah.
trying to, or Acuna maybe. There was a lot of them back there, struggling to see who was closest to him. But someone had their arm just behind Ake, but didn't seem to be much contact. So yeah, players restarted. No penalty kick. Okay, we got a comment here saying the Netherlands midfield is so bad. Ake was out of position because of that. Yeah, they are midfield, right? This bypassing midfield, basically, that's their plan, the Netherlands, which has worked okay when they're getting it down the flanks. But yeah, protection-wise for the midfield, I mean, that's not really Frankie de Jong's game, is it? And De Roon, like, they're not really in there to break up play. It's more to get on the ball and get the Dutch moving forward and link attack with the wide players. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what they can do to change that at this point. It's just the way they're set up as a team and their kind of identity and philosophy, right? So, absolutely. There's so many good questions coming in. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. So, what's been the key battle for you right now, Andy? Is it just basically the Netherlands trying to not get Messi in those dangerous positions? Because aside from that, Memphis Depay has been causing problems. We've seen a few yellow cards being dished out now. Um, it's. I think the Dutch, apart from that one bit of brilliance from Messi, like you said, haven't really been hurt too much. But it's almost all going on out wide, right? All the wing back situation there. That seems to be really the key battles. And Dumfries and Daley Blind haven't had it all their own way like they have in most games this tournament.
Yeah, we've got another yellow card on the bench, by the way. Wout Weghorst just got one as he's sitting on the bench. So a lot of interesting stuff going on the field, but right next to it as well. Yeah, it's I don't know about a matchup, but I think what Argentina have been able to do to limit Gakpo's exposure to the ball, and when he's able to get on it, where he's on the ball. I'm looking at his touches on the field right now. There is nothing in zone 14. There is nothing anywhere near the penalty area. It's all either deep in midfield on the other side of the halfway line or all the way out to the touch line. Like, they are not giving him any time or space on the ball. And I think, you can count on Depay to put chances away. Bergwijn is going to work, but it feels like Argentina have said, we know this team runs through Cody Gakpo. And I think that's probably a pretty fair assessment based on what we've seen so far at this tournament. So he's been very anonymous in this game. And I know that happens to young players in big moments and big games and big tournaments. But I think a lot of it is what Argentina are doing to just deny him.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think as well, it's denying De Jong the space to get on the ball because Messi continues to keep dropping deeper. And I think the Netherlands are kind of just quite scared to play the ball into their midfielders in those situations. So it's wanting to play direct for their own philosophy, but also because they don't want to get caught out and give the ball away to Messi. And we all saw what he just did for that amazing assist. So I'd love to see the Dutch kind of be a bit braver, I think. I love watching them play. But when they're getting the ball here, just look into their forwards, Gakpo, Depay, and Stevie Bergwijn as often and as quick as possible. And I'd like to see him just build up play because I think that would draw Argentina out a little bit and create some openings for him behind. So about a minute until halftime. Van Dijk's on the ball, clipping it out to Timber, who's going to maybe set up the final attack of the first half here. So let's see what they got. Again, stalled a little bit, but they got De Jong on the ball. Looking forward, nice little pass to Stevie Bergwijn, to Memphis, out wide to Dali Blind. Can the Dutch get it in the box? Oh, Blind's gone down off the ball. Just wants a free kick. Referee's not having any of it. I think that's pretty much the first half done and dusted there, Andy. So would we bring in Luke De Jong? That's a question. To go more direct and
focal point for sure.
Not the worst idea in the world, right? Because you know what Argentina's going to do now. They're just going to sit back and try and hit you on the counter. So not a bad shout there. So I'd probably do that. Maybe bring him on for one of the extra centre backs. I don't think you need 3 centre backs on the pitch right now for the Dutch. So
I would agree with that. So watching this Dutch performance here, and thinking back to the U.S. men's national team game from last weekend and how clinical they were. And I mean, they had 4 chances in the game. They put 3 of them away. Does this kind of just highlight even more how kind of naive the U.S. was in the way that they set up and the way that they played and the amount of space that they gave, the respect? Well, I take that back. It wasn't respect. Maybe it was not disrespect, but I think that the U.S. maybe bought into themselves a little bit too much, and they were a little bit too adventurous, a little bit too gung-ho, and the Netherlands made them pay. Argentina have not made that mistake. Obviously, veterans and experienced and everything, but just the way that they've set up, it feels like this is the way to not just slow down the Dutch, but to really stop them so far for 50 minutes of this game.
Yeah, and it is half time, by the way. It is the Netherlands 0, Argentina 1 at half time in this World Cup quarterfinal. Messi's having a little chat with the referee, but he'll be delighted after his assist played in Molina to slot home for Argentina. And we're going to talk through some interesting battles, kind of what have been the key battles so far. We've discussed that. Where's the game being won and lost? Out wide. Lionel Messi's performance. He's had a couple of half chances, a few efforts, but that one big moment was the magical moment to unlock the Dutch defence. And it's been really intriguing so far. So get your questions for us at half time, what you think about, what you want to see from Argentina, what you want to see from the Netherlands in the second half. But there has been some news, Andy, reports out there that Chiche, the Brazilian head coach, he has stepped down from his position as the Brazil national team manager. What's your sort of immediate reaction to that? I think that's kind of expected, right? When your red hot favourites like Brazil were, number 1 team in the FIFA rankings heading into the World Cup. And, they're red hot favourites, but at this tournament, they were kind of lukewarm, right? Is that fair to say? They were just kind of got going in stages in games and looked scintillating at times, but just never really caught fire at this tournament. And, I think it's probably the natural and right time for him to move on. But obviously a weird and bad day for Brazilian soccer.
Yeah, I think he was already going, I think, before the World Cup started. Like, it was already understood and I think expected that this was going to be his last tournament for Brazil. Been there 6 years, had 2 World Cups. Not a couple of great World Cup results by Brazil's standards, I guess you would say. I was a little surprised that he was kind of kept around for this, next cycle after what happened at the last World Cup. And so, if you've got that much talent in the team and, you're the 5-time champions of the world and the expectations are what they are, if you don't win or at least get to the final, maybe the semifinal is acceptable in certain situations. That's just the reality of being the Brazil boss. And so, good news for them. All that talent's still there, aside from Thiago Silva. And Casemiro's even going to be around 4 years from. That's still a really, really strong squad. We know the attacking talent, but it feels like they have a couple of young midfielders and defenders coming through as well. That 4 years from now, we might be talking about them as one of the better collective team units and not just a bunch of talent.
Yeah, and just to update that, he has said in this press conference that is true. He is out. So he's stepping down as we expected. But a little bit of breaking news there during our watch along for Netherlands against Argentina. And we'll have more on Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com on all of that as we continue to cover this crazy World Cup, Andy Edwards. It's been absolutely bonkers. Thanks so much to everyone for joining us so far for this watch along. Halftime 0-0 Argentina. Sorry, halftime 1-0 Argentina in the lead. And yeah, let us know where you are watching from in the world. That'll be really intriguing to see where you guys are tuning in from. And we will do our best to keep you all up to date, entertained, and provide any answers to your questions that you have for us throughout this second half. Andy, when we talk about sort of the tactical battle between the managers, Louis Van Gaal, obviously incredible experience, wonderful tactician, just kind of thinks outside the box, always has done with the way his teams play. Very true to the Dutch style of play as well. He's been one of the forefathers and one of the key figures in Dutch football for decades now. Has he done anything really wrong in this game? Do you agree with how they've set up? And I mean, Scaloni's done an exceptional job to kind of match him and do something that we didn't think Argentina would really do, right? Going with the 3-5-2. So that tactical battle between the managers at both different ends of their respective careers, that's been intriguing to see.
Yeah, this is the first time Netherlands have played a team that that I think you could say is like definitively better than them at this tournament. And I don't know, maybe we bought into the US Kool-Aid just a little bit much, and especially for the knockout. Not that the team wasn't good, not that they weren't worthy of being there, but when it becomes knockout stages of a tournament, you have to have a second way of playing, and they didn't have that. And so we're seeing Argentina now that are displaying that. They've been pretty free flowing so far this tournament, and I think that Scaloni very very not clever, because it's a fairly simple change. You take off one of the forwards, you get an extra body in midfield, you kind of muck things up in the middle, knowing how important it is for the other team to have the ball. And when the Netherlands are not able to get on the ball in the middle third and in the final third, they're really not dangerous. And so, yeah, I think it's more of what Argentina have done than what the Netherlands have not done, or what Louis van Gaal, got wrong in this game. And again, not to belabor the point too much, but aside from that one pass from Messi, they've not really given Argentina too much. And so, if that's the one chance that you've given up in 45 minutes, and it took that kind of a pass to unlock you, I think you're pretty happy with the performance. Obviously, not where you're at on the scoreboard. And so there's some big questions to be asked at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, for Argentina, it's just kind of much of the same, right? I mean, it's difficult. Do you kind of just sit back and protect that lead now, or it's a really risky one, isn't it? It's in this situation because the Netherlands are going to come more direct and take more chances. So they have the players there with Messi's vision and the players playing off him to really pick him off on the counter. So you got a good question. Do you think the Netherlands go long and play high line in the second half? It's hard to defend Messi around the 16-yard box. So yeah, it's really this is perfectly set up for us as neutrals watching this for the second half. Because for Argentina, I feel like they're not really going to sit back too deep, and probably their best form of defense is actually going for it a bit and getting that goal.
But they don't have to fully go for it, and not just because they're in the lead, but I think because they have an understanding of how to kind of manage a game and how to survive a game. Like, break it up into 5-minute increments. You survive these 5 minutes, no opportunities really present themselves to get forward. They're not going to force it. They're not going to push the agenda too much to where they cause themselves problems at the back. But when those moments do come, I mean, just look at the attacking talent that they've got. Look at Messi and what he's already done in this game, and how they can take advantage of those moments. And so I don't think they have to go all out to push for a second goal, for that second goal to kind of come to them. And I think they have a pretty good understanding of, there will be moments for us in the second half. We don't have to really make them for ourselves. We just have to take the game as it comes, take these 45 minutes, and then they're into the World Cup semifinals. And as much as we both wanted to kind of believe in the Dutch in this game, it does feel like it's a really, really uphill battle for them at this point, just because of Argentina having the lead with the experience that they have.
Yeah, that's totally spot on. I think for Argentina though, I just want to see them just keep the ball a bit better. They're going to have to keep some of the pressure off, because the Dutch are going to come at them. It's going to be wave after wave of attack from the Netherlands, and I think Argentina, at times in this first half, Messi's been isolated, Alvarez has been isolated. So you would like to see those two just kind of get on the ball. And Messi's being forced to drop 30, 40 yards deeper and then having about 4 or 5 players around him every time he gets on it. So if they can just keep the ball a little bit better, obviously the Dutch are going to have to take more risks, push more people forward. If they can connect those first couple of passes, then Argentina are going to be in. As for the Dutch, then we said it there. Comments are alluding to it, Andy, being more direct. They've been pretty direct in the first half, to be honest, playing that ball forward as quickly as they can to the players in behind. But maybe they do need something a bit different with De Jong or Davy Klaassen, extra body in midfield. It's there's very many ways they can go with it, and Louis van Gaal will probably go the way that we don't expect him to go. Right? That's just the way he is.
Well, and there's different ways of being direct as well, and you point out that they're playing straight into the feet and in behind of those attacking players. I think what we'll see eventually in the second half, especially if Luke de Jong comes on, is we'll see direct in the air, and then it becomes about the second ball. It's not about Luke de Jong and Nicolas Otamendi who are going up to challenge for the ball in the air. Either one of them can win it, and it can fall to the other team. It's going to be about cleaning up those 50-50 balls in moments of transition, especially because that is when the Netherlands will find opportunities without Argentina in perfect defensive shape. And if they're able to get the ball up there quickly, knock it down, and then you've got Cody Gakpo running off of that, those are going to be much more valuable and dangerous touches than anything he had during the first half. And so I do think they need some kind of a focal point for the Argentine defense to have to focus on. And once you get that out there, I think that frees up that space for probably Depay and Gakpo. I would imagine it'll be Bergwijn coming off first. And so if you do that, then I think that you maximize the best things that those two star attacking players do, and that's their mobility and their creativity at any moment. And so I think that's the change we see. I don't know if it works though, because this Argentine side is just so solid there at the base of midfield. They're going to sweep up a lot of those balls, and then if they don't, we all rate the defenders back there. So it is a really, really uphill battle.
It is. Got some good comments coming in from Jess, Go Argentina from Hawaii. Messi, a lot of love for Messi. Ma, we need to secure this win. Let's go. From Jay Cochran there. Trainer, AQ. I don't like Argentina, but I love Messi. Poor guy, it's time for him to win that World Cup. Again, kind of summing up what we said earlier. If you're a neutral, this is the storyline that you're probably rooting for in the rest of the World Cup, to see Messi finally win the World Cup. We've got some more comments in here. Trainer said 3 defenders is enough to take Netherlands lacking attack. And then, there's just a lot of really good comments. Patricia says, tough game, vamos Argentina, vamos. From Patricia Grass there. Angela says, go Netherlands. Let us know who you think is going to win. This is evenly balanced, I think, this game, even though Argentina has the 1-goal advantage. I think we've seen from this Netherlands team, Andy, they're very dangerous sort of whenever they get the ball wide. And Argentina's doing a great job, but can they keep doing that for the full 90 minutes, right? Going up and down. And the Netherlands is very used to this pattern of play, this rhythm under Louis van Gaal.
Yeah.
I think, what was it? 19 games unbeaten heading into this. So
something like that.
Pretty incredible for his record as manager. So I'm intrigued to see if Argentina can keep it going, basically.
Yeah, I think, and also we got to remember, Argentina are going to make changes in the second half as well. And if you look at the bench and what they've got on there, they've got Lautaro, they've got Dybala, they've got Di Maria as well. And I think the game, how it's set up now, fits more for Di Maria, someone who's going to be on the ball a little bit longer and not looking to just surge forward in the way that they needed to do in the first half. And so for all of the changes the Dutch are going to be able to make to this game and try to affect it, Argentina have so many more options in the areas of the field where the Netherlands maybe are just a little bit light.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's talk about the standout performers from that first half as we look ahead to the second half as well. Apart from Messi's pass, obviously was brilliant. I would say probably the Argentine wing backs, right? Molina on one side, obviously getting the goal. Acuna's had a bit of a tougher time down the other flank, but they're doing their job. And Alessandro Martinez kind of covering that space there from left side of centre back to left back. Kind of shut down Dumfries for the most part,
Yeah.
who was really, really good in this World Cup
Yeah.
so far. So are those the key kind of standout performers for you so far?
Yeah, along the back line, I thought Christian Romero was pretty good as well because obviously that threat for those balls into the channels exists on both sides, and I think he is one of those players that kind of sets the tone and sets the tempo for the team and kind of lays down like this is the mentality, and so I think that's really really important, especially in a knockout game. But how can you look past the pass from Messi and just I mean one of the best passes of all time. I'm telling you now, if you've not seen it yet, the overhead replay where they're looking almost straight down onto the field, the
Incredible.
angle that ball is played at, the number of bodies that it crosses and goes through the path of, and nobody ever gets close to it. It's remarkable.
Unbelievable. Just I didn't even see him look really. He had one small look just before in the build-up, but looking at his performance so far, he's been so tightly marked whenever he's dropped
Mhm.
deep, and that's what he does, right? We talked about it before the game.
Yeah,
He has these moments where he just turns
yeah.
up and he is the cherry on top for Argentina whenever they need him to be.
Mhm.
They're a good team unit, but they know that if it's a tight game like this one is, a tight tactical battle, he has that moment of magic to just unlock a defense. So his performance so far has been sensational from that point of view, being the difference. Let's see if Argentina can get him the ball a bit more often in better areas as they
Yeah.
come out to the pitch for the second half, Andy. Dutch team already out, so Argentina have been keeping them waiting a little bit. Um, how are we expecting this to unfold? Obviously, a lot of Argentina fans in the stands. All the expectations are on. Oh, we got a couple of substitutes, by the way, at half time. It
Yeah.
looks like Berghaus and Koopmeiners are come on for the Dutch. So it looks
Okay.
like they are going for more bodies in midfield there, right? To kind of keep the ball a bit better, dominate that area of the pitch. But yeah, that is interesting. Those some again. We said Louis Van Gaal, whatever he did was going to surprise us.
Yeah.
But
We
can you?
knew Bergvine would be off pretty quickly. I
Yeah,
didn't think it would be for another midfielder though.
yeah, that is interesting. Let's see how that plays out. The second
Yeah,
half is
let's
underway.
give it 5 minutes to look at it and see where everybody kind of slots in and what they're trying to do. Obviously, it'll have been something they worked on this week, knowing the possibility hey, we might need to chase in the second half. This is going to be the look.
Yeah, Darun is off. And yeah, so is Stevie Bergwijn. So we got Berghaus and Tane Koopmeiners coming on as well. I'm just
So
trying
it
to see.
already looks like Gakpo's pushed out to the right wing, and so he's going to be much more aggressive and not kind of sitting in the hole there. It looks like Berghaus is kind of slotting in between whether he's going to play underneath or if he's going to push on between Depay and Gakpo. But yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Getting Gakpo into those more dangerous areas because I'd rather have him running onto a ball into the channel than Steven Bergwijn or really probably anybody else in the Dutch squad, save for maybe Memphis.
Yeah, Marco saying the Dutch need to finish. They need to finish, do something different, creative, and unexpected. Is that maybe part? It's a great comment to be fair because we know how they play. Argentina knows how they play, so they set up their team to counteract the Dutch in this 3-5-2, whatever you want to call it, 3-4-2-1, 1-2, whatever. So yeah, I guess we're kind of seeing does the Dutch team have a plan B? It's Lionel Messi's on the edge of the box, plays it in, gets it back 25 yards out, puts it wide, crosses coming in, deflects out for an Argentine corner at the start of the second half. But yeah, sorry, just obviously get very excited whenever Messi's anywhere near the penalty, basically anywhere on the football pitch, but especially when he's near the penalty box in that kind of situation. But yeah, Marco's made a good point there, right, Andy? Let's see if the Dutch now have a bit of a
Yeah.
plan B to shock Argentina, which
Well, we've not, and again, we've not seen them have to resort to one at this tournament. They were able to kind of manage through the group stage and slowly build up without Memphis, and the U.S. kind of played perfectly into their hands, exactly how they wanted to play. They wanted to cross the ball a ton. They wanted that wide space, and the the U.S. defenders left them unmarked inside the penalty area and inside the 6 yard box in a way that they never should have been doing. And so we've not seen them have to go to Plan B or solve a problem really at this World Cup.
Yeah, the corner came in, flicked across at the near post, and kind of no one was there from an Argentina point of view. And they got the ball now on the other side in the corner, looking to get another corner, but it goes out for a goal kick. Frankie de Jong did a really good job there defensively. Gets a high five from his teammates. Got some good comments in here. Trainer says, can Argentina win it, or are they going to fall victim to Van Gaal's tactical plays? But we're about to find out. But this is when we find out of all the years of experience from Louis Van Gaal. If he really, because those weren't the first two names off the bench we thought that were going to come off, right? So, yeah, he knows. He usually knows best, Louis Van Gaal. Man United fans might disagree slightly, but I think when we look at Man United over the years,
I think we've seen enough managers struggle there to know it wasn't at least all on Louis.
It wasn't all on him for sure, exactly. So I think they actually look back quite fondly at his time in charge. What they won an FA Cup and did okay for the most part.
Do you think United fans would go back to that time right now, if knowing what the ensuing 8 years have been like?
Probably. I think it'd be very entertaining for everyone involved. So
at least there was still the hope of being better in the future.
Oh yeah, Dutch are getting in down the right, clipped ball in. I think it was Gakpo, just too close to Emi Martinez, and Argentina clear away. Let's have a look. There's a lot of good questions coming in. Michael Messalate, do you think people overlook the importance of chemistry when considering how far Brazil could go? Good point. I think we all thought, and they were pretty good defensively in midfield, right? And have been for the last few years, but it's a good comment because if you think about it, all we do is list all the great attacking players they have, and they have Neymar, Richarlison, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus. Oh, incredible! Rafinha, but they never Anthony, another one. They never actually seem to know what their best 3 or 4 forwards actually were, right? And kind of have the combination. I don't think, and maybe they had too many options. It's a weird one, right? Because it sounds stupid. How can you have too many world-class forward options? But as a unit, it didn't quite seem to click during the tournament.
Yeah, I don't think it's too many options. I think it's too many of the wrong options. And I was going to ask you this earlier, and so I'm glad we've come back to it. Rafinha was a bit, hindsight obviously is a huge benefit that we can say this now, but Rafinha was always a strange inclusion into that team. Just obviously we've seen what he did at Leeds, and then he got the move to Barcelona, and it just felt like, I don't know, really, Rafinha in the starting lineup for Brazil at the World Cup. Okay, I didn't expect that. Really, really rate him as a player. Obviously, he had a couple good seasons in the Premier League, but that always felt a little bit interesting and like definitely not a fit either. It felt like
Messi is played through goalkeeper. Nothing comes out at his feet, but Messi was nearly played in there, and that's a danger for the Netherlands now, right, in the second half.
Yeah, and he is just hanging on the back shoulder of Nathan Ake right there. As the ball is won in midfield, he'll creep forward to stay on side, and as soon as the ball touches a white and blue shirt, he is just making that run inside. I think Messi's going to get a goal here in the second half, and then that'll put it away. But yeah, going back to Brazil, Rafinha was an interesting one, and I also think Richarlison through the middle at center forward is just not the best fit, and there's a reason that he doesn't play there for Spurs. Harry Kane is the reason he doesn't play there for Spurs, but I think even without Harry Kane, that's not an ideal fit there. And so it's just they didn't have exactly the right type of attacking talent. They've got a lot of players that are actually quite similar. Rafinha and Antony, quite similar. I would even throw Vinicius in there as well. Like they are really, really incredible dribblers and chance creators, but none of them are players that you say, I want to create chances for that player because he's going to put them away 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. This is a good question. So who would you put in Rafinha's position then? Who would have been instead of him? It's a good question.
I don't know that player is on the team.
Yeah.
I guess you could move. Yeah, I don't think it matters who plays in the Rafinha position because I don't think the Richarlison fit works well enough. Like he is a very, very hard worker. But I think if you're going to go with three attacking midfielders underneath a center forward, you need that center forward to be a playmaker, and that's certainly not him. And so you need someone that's going to be able to operate very, very precisely in very tight areas. And that's just for all the things that Richarlison does well. And he scored the two best goals at this World Cup, probably. Those are not his strengths.
Yeah, I agree with that. You'd almost want to put Rafinha in a number 10 position, maybe, and just have him creating. And but then it's like you said, it's too lopsided about how many left-sided players they had in those positions there. So, okay, Dutch are on the attack on the edge of the box. Frenkie de Jong out to Daley Blind. Oh, the cross is blocked by Romero, who you pointed out has had a really good game. But that's what I want to see more from the Dutch, right? They're getting the ball forward into wide positions quicker now, and I want to see them switch in play like they did against the US.
Yeah.
That's where they're going to get joy, I think, because Argentina are just settling in. They're winning the ball back and launching some counters when they do win it back, because the Dutch are obviously putting more men forward now that they have to score a goal to get back level. But they're just doing it in quite a methodical, calm way. This is what I wanted to see. Keep the ball, be better on the ball. This is much better from the Dutch at the start of the second half, right?
Yeah, they're playing a lot more from the inside out now versus just starting on the outsides and just trying to barge straight up the field. They are getting the ball into zone 14. I don't think that was Frenkie de Jong. Was it Berghuis that was on the ball kind of top of the 18 and slid that ball out to the left to Daley Blind? That's how you pull a defense out of shape. You force everybody to constrict inside, and then you bring the width forward and find them there. I think that's obviously. I mean, that's what they did so well against the US.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's kind of Messi, a handball from Messi there. It seemed like a yellow card to me, to be honest. I think he knew what he was doing with that handball situation.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know how he hasn't been booked.
I mean, it's up here.
Yeah. He's the great man, but he's got away with one there.
That's incredible that's not and as big a Messi fan as there is, but that's a yellow card.
Oh, 100%. Do we think Virgil van Dijk can get a tackle? We haven't really talked about him this much on this watch along, have we? I mean, he hasn't really had a lot to do sitting at the heart of the Dutch defence, apart from that one defence splitting pass. He's not really had to defend too much, right? So
I don't love him
see him get on the ball and actually be that extra man in midfield. I want to see him driving forward on the ball.
Yeah, I don't love him in the middle of a three. Obviously, not where he plays for Liverpool, and also if you've got De Jong there in defensive midfield spot, like that's exactly what he's looking to do as well. And so they're kind of stepping on each other's toes, I think, when the Netherlands are in possession. And so Virgil is just kind of limited to he's kind of the center fielder back there in the middle of the back line, just kind of sweeping things up. His ability to hit diagonal balls, though, I think is something that they need to, and they have done at this tournament thus far, is they need to be able to exploit and put that to use.
Okay, we've got some comments here. McAllister has taken more spotlight as Messi is aging out. Alex, he's been good, right? The Brighton midfielder, really linking midfield and attack and snapping into challenges we're seeing now against Frenkie de Jong. As the Dutch keep the ball much better at the start of the second half and just building up play, moving it out to the right. Timber to looking for Dumfries, but Berghuis has had more touches on the ball than probably any other Dutch player in midfield in the first half had. He's been really good since he come on. A bit of a loose back pass towards, but Argentina are okay. They know if they connect a few of these passes now, they can get in behind the Dutch. But yeah, good comment there about McAllister. One of those players that kind of like Brighton just flies under the radar, right? And just
and
he's been delivering.
You join up with Argentina, you take on a different role than you're used to having for Brighton. All due respect to Brighton, you're not playing with Messi, you're not playing with Di Maria, you're not playing with a half dozen different players that you just simply can't hold a candle to. And so to see a player that obviously has the full tactical understanding and the technical ability that he has, and kind of go into that team and be a bit of a workhorse in the midfield, but with the ability in those moments. Ball falls to you in the right moment, that he's a threat in the way that other, kind of box to box type midfielders wouldn't be.
Absolutely. Keep your questions coming in. Again, Joe Prince-Wright, Andy Edwards, delighted to be joining you for this World Cup quarterfinal. Netherlands 0, Argentina 1. What are we in? Nearly coming towards the hour mark. So it's getting very close to desperation times for the Netherlands, right, Andy? This is kind of where they have to properly go for it. I think we're going to see some fireworks in these next 25, 30 minutes or so. But Argentina keeping the ball a bit better. I want to talk a little bit about the history of the Netherlands and Argentina in the World Cup, because we talked earlier about the amazing kits and like the iconic moments from Johan Cruyff, Diego Maradona, when we think back to all the great games. And was it Dennis Bergkamp's amazing goal when the ball was played over the top and he finished it in '98 World Cup? They've had some great moments, and that was a 2-1 win in the quarterfinals for the Dutch against Argentina. Obviously, Argentina beat the Netherlands in 1978 in the final in extra time, and as recently as 2014, when Louis van Gaal was in charge of the Dutch last time at a World Cup, Argentina went on to win that semi-final on penalty kicks against the Dutch. So they had some great battles, and this is right up there. Sixth World Cup meeting between these two nations, and only Brazil against Sweden and Argentina against Germany has been played more often at the World Cup. Wow. Oh, as Argentina, nearly slotted in, played the ball back, slipped at the crucial moment, and Nathan Ake just clears it. But as we go back to the history, I mean, it's incredible, right? When we just think about these great teams.
Yeah.
At tournaments over the years, they always seem to deliver magic moments like Messi did in the first half.
Yeah, and it makes it all the more unbelievable that Netherlands didn't qualify last time. Like the U.S. not qualifying, I guess through CONCACAF is shocking and an atrocity. Netherlands not qualifying is otherworldly because of what the expectations are and just the history that they have. And obviously, you can throw Italy in there. 2 tournaments in a row. That's it's a conversation for its own day. But yeah, you get 2 teams that have had players over the years, and I guess is this the least flashy or at least star-studded Netherlands team that has been for a long while? Because I know Memphis is popular and people like him as a personality, but they don't have a truly world-class talent in this team, and so they have relied upon being a little bit more of a team unit, and that's why I think Louis was the right coach for him as well. He was going to instill a real fighting spirit and work ethic into the team. Yeah, it's just Argentina have so much talent right now. Like it almost doesn't feel fair that they're meeting kind of at this point, because the programs are in such different places. This is a pretty young Dutch team. 4 years from now, they might be really good. Argentina is going to look really different in 4 years, and so this is a must-win time for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just intriguing to see the Dutch. I mean, this is their 5th quarterfinal appearance in its last 6 World Cup appearances. So just consistently been right up there whenever they get to a tournament. They're doing it. Okay, let's talk about what's next then for these teams in this game. We got a comment there saying Miguelon saying we need Di Maria to come on. And then watch Ake when Argentina have the ball. He tries to follow Messi and got out of position. A bad plan. A bad plan there from Virgil van Dijk. I'm pretty sure he just hacked down Lionel Messi right on the edge of the penalty box there, Andy. Pushed him away. Yeah, you can't really put your arms out like that, right?
Yeah.
Players. So it's a free kick to Argentina right on the edge of the box. Guess who's going to take this free kick?
Yeah, I can't fathom.
Lionel Messi's going to take it. Well, it looks like it. There seems to be some kind of committee, but maybe they're just deciding who's going to run out of the way of the ball, because no one's going to get that ball off of Messi.
If this becomes an all-time great World Cup highlight, who gets to be in the highlight? Like that's a worthy conversation. I would fight for that.
I want to be in the background. Yeah. All right, Messi's eyeing it up. What was that, Andy? 21 yards out, probably.
Yeah, maybe slightly. Yeah, 22, 23. Yeah, because it's offset from the center just a little bit.
Yeah, just off to the left-hand side of center. The Dutch wall lining up like, they're not looking forward to this. They kind of know what's coming, I think. So let's see what Messi can do. Got the draft excluder down there on the wall just in case he tries to sneak one underneath. Stepping up, big moment for Lionel Messi, 63rd minute. Can he whip in this free kick? Left foot up and over the wall. Oh, and just over the crossbar. Got some serious whip on that. And I think the reaction of relief on the Dutch player's face said it all, right? The goalkeeper was not getting to that one. But yeah.
Oh, how do you go keeper side from that angle with a wall there and put it so close to on target and
Dangerous
so
attack
close
for
into
the
the upper
Netherlands
90?
here. Half clearance for Argentina, but there's a lot of players slipping up. I'm not sure they've heavily watered the pitch in the second half here, but Stevie Berghaus just kind of slipping there at the key moment when the ball nearly dropped him on the right-hand side. And Argentina survived that scare. But yeah, get your questions and comments coming in for Andy and I. Here's a question for everyone out there and for you, Andy. If Argentina does hold on and wins this, are they the favourites to win the World Cup? They'll play Croatia in the semi-finals, right? So
I think strictly from a just a competition and a path perspective, I think they are. I think you would rather have that matchup in the semifinals than either one of England or France, or probably over Portugal if you're if you're England or France. So yeah, I think what we expected when the knockout started was we would get Argentina, Brazil, and so there was no easier path because ultimately you would have to go. They would have to go through each other. Once Brazil went out, and maybe we're massively underrating and disrespecting Croatia, who just kind of continue to do it and just go on and on and on. But yeah, I think they are.
yeah, I agree with that. I might be as bold to say that whoever wins out of England and France will be right up there with them. I think it's probably 50-50
Yeah.
between whoever wins that. I think Portugal maybe still aren't quite there yet if they get past Morocco. But with their individual talent, you never know. Luke de Jong's on, by the way. They're taking off Dally Blind, the left wing back. They're going for it, the Dutch, just chucking a big man forward, trying to feed off him. Looks like maybe they have gone to a back four and Nathan Ake's gone to left back. Trying to see how they're playing this out here. That's what it looks like, right, Andy?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing because he's got responsibility of the widest attacker out there. So yeah. And Van Dijk is, well, it's a lot of orange shirts back in the defensive half right now for a team that's a goal down and needs to be pushing the ball up the other end of the field. Argentina are doing a really good job of sustaining possession and not in the most dangerous areas, and they're maybe not creating anything with it. But they're making the Netherlands work really, really hard defensively just to get the ball back. And by that time, they've run themselves into the ground and they don't seem to have a ton of energy to get out on the counter.
Definitely. Matthew Hardy saying Argentina versus France in the final, in my opinion. Could see that, definitely.
That's what I predicted before the tournament, just for the record.
Oh, yeah, Andy did. I had Brazil against England, so this time tomorrow that could be looking like a pretty bad prediction. Being as optimistic as ever. England over France, Morocco. What is the chance percentage for Morocco? They've been pretty good, Andy. Probably 30%. I'd give them 35% against Portugal. Is that too high?
They have, man, that is really tough. That's tough to say because all of the intangibles I think they have,
Yeah.
But they have the far and away the least depth of any team still alive at this point of the tournament. They have had the shortest amount of rest of any team just based on when their round of 16 game was. It was on the final day of the round of 16, whereas other teams earlier, and I understand that it was the same for Portugal, but without the depth of Portugal and having to play the same 11, 12, 13 players, extended minutes every single game, at some point, that fairy tale run, midnight always comes for Cinderella, in the movie and in sports as well. And so a semifinal appearance for Morocco would be absolutely incredible. But I do think it's 70-30, maybe even 75-25 at this point, just because of the fitness.
Yeah. You know what, though? It's confidence, I think, in that team that with the quality of players they have, Ziyech, Buffal, Amrabat, Hakimi, Saiss, Bono in goal, and Asiri up top. I mean, they have quality players who are playing at the top level in Europe and have been for some time now. So it's it shouldn't maybe be a shock. I saw a clip of Sofiane Buffal talking before the tournament. He predicted they would get to the quarterfinals. That was his prediction, and he said we're going to do it. We'll equal whatever Ghana did. I'm telling you now, and I don't think many people had them even getting out of the group right with Belgium, Croatia, and Canada in it. So fair play to them, Morocco. Matthew Hardy's got a question here. Do you think with the World Cup pushback, has it hurt the stronger sides of them having little rest after playing in their respective leagues?
Yeah,
Probably,
it's not even
right?
just the rest; it's preparation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the best teams make the most of their preparation time. They prepare the best. They have the best minds as coaches and the best minds as players. That's just how it is. That's why they are the best. And if and I'll just use them as the example because we were talking about them. If Morocco had the talent and on-field IQ and understanding and reading of the game that Portugal does, we would be talking about that game completely differently. And so, yeah, I think the big teams, and that's what's leveled the playing field a little bit at this tournament. The fact that it's all about talent, and I think I've learned that the talent between the top teams and the top players in the world, the gap is much smaller to players below them. But in terms of the IQ, I think that's where, and for teams especially, that's where the difference has been made.
Absolutely. Just a pretty incredible stat just came up while we were watching this. Netherlands only had one shot, 0 on target so far. The expected goals is 0.112 for them, 0.65 for Argentina. Argentina, even though they haven't had, or possession-wise, it's nearly 60-40 to the Netherlands right now for this game. So they just looked more dangerous as Angel Di Maria there is warming up on the sidelines. 20 minutes to go. Argentina 1, Netherlands 0. Julian Alvarez keeping the ball on the left side. Alexis McAllister, lovely little ball. But the Dutch win it back, but they just haven't done a good enough job, Andy, right? The Dutch, whenever they've won it back to actually, they're not getting in behind this Argentine defense anymore like they were early on. And that was because obviously they're not playing as direct and also because Argentina don't need to play that high up the pitch. Doesn't matter.
It feels like it has to be a set piece at this point, doesn't it?
I think so. Something like that, or a moment of brilliance from Memphis Depay or Gakpo, someone. What do you got? Doesn't matter says, I love an underdog story, but I had $500 on Brazil going to the final. Well, my word. Sorry about that, mate. That is, I don't think anyone really had Brazil not going to the final, right? Or at least the semi-final. So huge shock there. We got a penalty kick for Argentina. 20 minutes to go. Acuna goes down in the box. It looks like, is it Dumfries?
Yep.
His trailing leg as Acuna.
No, it's Timber.
I don't think so.
Number 2 is Timber. Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, Dumfries. Oof. Are they going to let Messi take it?
Surely. Wow, actually, surely not after the last one.
Yeah. I don't know that they have anybody better. I think if they had someone else on the field right now, they might let
them. Take penalty kicks for Brighton.
Oh, imagine letting Alexis McAllister take a penalty kick over Messi and then he doesn't convert it. Like, that's tough.
He's taken a few. I think Pascal Gross takes a lot.
Yeah.
Trossard. They kind of rotate. Messi's total penalty kicks for... He's had 26 penalty kicks. Quite a few misses. I don't see the numbers there, but...
Yeah, 21 for 26 for Argentina. Wow. So he's missed 5 of them. And it looks like all 5 have been saved. And all 5 of them put in pretty poor positions where it's fairly easy for the keeper to get to.
All right. We're about to see.
Oof.
Messi stepping up. Penalty kick. 20 minutes to go in a World Cup quarterfinal. Argentina leading 1-0. Can he double the lead? Can the GOAT take them very close to being in the World Cup semi-final. Messi's 3 yards away from the ball, short step up, load of Argentina fans behind the goal, willing him on. Here he comes, steps up, and it's a goal. Top corner. Goalkeeper didn't move. Messi very slow, very, very slow run up, puts it right into the corner. I think Andy Edwards is pretty much wrapped up for Argentina, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
Netherlands for they held their own in the first half, but the second half has been all Argentina, and huge credit to them for the way that they've controlled the game. And they said, "This is exactly where we want to be. We wanted to be a goal up." And I think you made the point during the first half. They are so much better to play from ahead than they are to play from behind. And that's really played out in the second half. Netherlands have barely had a sniff of the ball, let alone the penalty area. This is a very smart and mature type of performance from Argentina, the kind that tells you that a team is rounding not just into form, but I think just full working understanding of every aspect of what they want to do at exactly the right time.
Absolutely. Got a lot of you celebrating there in the comments section. And yeah, I think we all agree with the delight for Lionel Messi, and the Argentina fans are going absolutely crazy in the stands, seeing him slot home that one. Dutch have a chance to make it interesting here, Andy, with a goal in the next 4 or 5 minutes, but I think the shot on target so far as they loop another hopeful ball into the box. Oh, here we go. It's all kicking off, Andy. There's a melee. There's a melee in the penalty boxes. Luke de Jong and Emi Martinez go at it. Players is pushing and shoving. Oh, people getting very upset in there, Andy.
I think the two least upset people in the whole ordeal were Luke de Jong and Emi Martinez, for what it's worth. Like, they came face to face. I think they understood that's a pretty common goalkeeper center forward interaction right there. And then everybody else said, "Oh, are we doing this?" And everybody else took to it and then decided that they were going to start the scrap. And de Jong and Martinez were just kind of there.
Yeah. Carlito saying bravo, Messi. Andrea, chances of Croatia beating Argentina? I don't know anymore in this World Cup. Usually I would say 25% chance, probably. Croatia, I think they're still the heavy underdogs. But Andy, am I being too kind to Croatia, too harsh on them? It's, their quality and their talent is undoubted. But this is Argentina. This is Lionel Messi.
Similar to the Brazil matchup, I think the way that their team is built and where their talent is, that it's so strong in midfield and with Modric, with Brozovic, and with Kovacic as well. I think they give Argentina a really tough game. I do think Argentina's still better. I do think Argentina have kind of the game-changing type players that Croatia lack. Croatia really have to manufacture chances. They have to work really hard to create scoring chances, and I don't think it's going to come quite as difficult for Argentina in that game. So I think slight favorite to Argentina, but at this point, and since I said I had Argentina France in the final and it's still on possibly, and everybody else seemed to pick Brazil, I will also say I had Croatia going out in the group stage. Thought this was the end of kind of that era of the Modric generation, and very wrong.
The Dutch are in, but Argentina cleared. But I'm not sure who went down. I'm going to see a replay, but they went down in the box looking for a penalty, but it looked like they might have actually handballed just after the foul as well. So
yeah, I think it was Gakpo.
Be intriguing to see, right, if it goes to VAR. But Brandon saying Croatia doesn't stand a chance against Argentina, giving a lot of love for Messi as well, and his other comments saying that he deserves it after the last World Cup. Dylan says Croatia may have the best defensive players. That's fair enough. I mean, the goalkeeper has been sensational defensively. Gvardiol, Modric, Brozovic, and Kovacic in midfield, just the way they control the game. That's good. There's still 15 or so minutes left, including stoppage time probably. But if we look ahead to that, tactically in midfield, that's going to be a really intriguing battle. And Acuna and Romero are coming off for Argentina. Tagliafico and Pizzella, is that coming on, I think? So Are those players both on yellow cards? I think they are, right? So that would maybe suggest where they're at in terms of keeping them for. Yeah, they're both on yellow cards, the two Argentine players who are coming off. So I think they're already thinking about the next game, right, Andy, as we probably are now. Sorry to everyone from a Dutch perspective, but haven't seen anything in this game to suggest they're going to get back in this or even get a goal.
Yeah, why be sorry, Joe? They beat the U.S. last week. Let them go out. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all.
Memphis Depay is off. Wout Weghorst is on. Depay's face got a face like thunder, fair to say. Not because I think he's disappointed in going off. I just think he knows that just hasn't worked out well for the Dutch, right? We will not be seeing dancing from Louis van Gaal at the team hotel today, I don't think, unless something dramatic happens in these final 12 minutes. Brandon says Argentina will be in the finals. A lot of good comments coming in. I'm rooting for Argentina. Go all the way, guys. Croatia's on a mission. A lot of love for Argentina. Yeah, so let us know where you're joining us from in the States or anywhere else in the world. Always good to get locations, see where you guys are watching from. Again, I'm Joe Prince-Wright. Got Andy Edwards. Head over and read all our work at Pro Soccer Talk at NBCSports.com and all of NBC's channels, platforms, YouTube, on the site, videos, written. We'll have you covered throughout the final. What we got here, Andy? Oh, the Dutch have a chance. That's what we have. But I think there's a foul and a free kick given to Argentina. But what we got? Just over a week now until the World Cup finishes, which I can't quite believe that, to be honest.
How is that possible?
I don't know. It feels like 2 days ago it was the second day of the group stage.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, probably anybody watching this probably feels the same as us, right? I haven't really been basing what day of the week it is by actually what day of the week it is. It's just based on what games are on. I don't know. I couldn't tell you if it's Monday, Thursday, Sunday. It's just been pretty wild for the last few weeks. Matthew Hardy's watching Australia. I was going to do a really terrible Australian accent then, but I'll just say good day in the normal accent. Utah, North Carolina. Hello to Dylan Spencer there. Argentina's in the house. Yeah, just let us know whereabouts you're watching from in the world. Argentina on the attack. Cleared, and Dutch are trying to spring a counter, but it looks like Andy, the Dutch has totally run out of energy, right?
Yeah, I mean, we knew this was going to happen. That Argentina have done such a good job in the second half of keeping the ball, and whether they're creating anything or not, again, they are making the Dutch work so hard to get it back. And by the time they get it back, everybody's out of gas, and they're just hoping to retain possession. And then Argentina are applying a little bit of pressure for the first time in this game. Like as soon as they lose the ball, and it's a great kind of progressive strategy as the game wears on. You start out pretty conservative, and then you get a lead and you kind of ramp up the pressure a little bit rather than what a lot of teams do, sitting in and inviting the pressure on. Argentina have said, okay, we're a goal ahead. Now we're going to give you even less.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. We got Portugal in the house, Jamaica. Hello to Terrell Parkins. Tracy's in Mexico. Trainer South Carolina, Jessica Lang in Germany. Seattle. We have South Africa. Brandon's in Florida. Yeah, it's great to have you guys with us. I'm here in England. Andy's in Kansas City. It's great that we can all get together and do this and watch what looks like it's going to be an Argentina win. But Cody Gakpo's got a free kick, 35 yards out on the left flank. Going to whip it in with his right foot again towards the penalty spot. Underhit it, Andy, and that kind of sums up the day for the Netherlands, right? Worked hard, but haven't had the quality when needed. But they do whip in a good ball to the back stick, trying to win it back again, De Jong, but haven't mentioned his name much, right, during the entire game, Frankie De Jong. They just haven't allowed, he hasn't been allowed to get on the ball and really dictate or create. Dutch are coming forward down the right. Berghaus, going to have to be a good delivery here. Loops up. Argentina clear. I think it was Otamendi who's had another really good game and kind of a resurgence for him, right, this tournament. After some of his displays for Man City. Good ball in. Whoa, we have a goal. 2-1. Is that big Wout Weghorst there with the header? Wow. Game on. Just as we were talking about Croatia against Argentina, ball whipped in from the left. I think it was Berghaus. And then I'm pretty sure that's Wout Weghorst there, nipping in front of Lissandro Martinez. Please, no comments about his height and how good he is in the air in the comments section. But that is a crucial goal. It was Wout Weghorst. Crucial goal. Game on, Andy Edwards. What do you make of that? We did not see that coming.
But that looked really familiar, didn't it? A cross into the box and just the absolute perfect header placed in the only spot that you can find in the back of the net from a Dutch forward. I think I've seen that before somewhere. And we said, we thought it might be set pieces. That is effectively at this point of the game, because of the numbers that the Dutch are going to put forward, a cross from open play like that is effectively a set piece for them. And by the way, that came immediately from an Argentina restart, did it not? And so, like, just the way that they got the ball quickly and got it into the box, before Argentina had a chance to get set, I don't think they would have wanted Martinez on Wout Weghorst. I don't think that's the matchup that you're looking for. And so you don't give them time to adjust. You don't give them time to reset. And now, we have a game. I still think it's Argentina, but if that is an option, if getting the ball into the box and creating chances that way, that simply is there for the Netherlands now, they're going to have one or two more.
Absolutely. So strap in, folks. This is going to be absolutely wild for the final, 6 minutes in normal time, plus whatever we have stoppage time-wise, Andy, at least 5 or 6 minutes, right? So I think we've got over 10 minutes here left. So let us know how you're feeling in the comments. Are Argentina going to hold on? Are the Netherlands going to pin them back and take us to extra time for the second time in World Cup quarterfinals today? Great comment there. It did get really interesting. And another cross, big cross comes into the back post. Is that Van Dijk up? Ball drops. Oh, a low driller from Berghaus. And it hits the side netting. And it looked like, from my angle, I think half the stadium thought that had found the top corner. But big Virgil van Dijk up there. Maybe it wasn't Van Dijk. I don't know. I think it might have been Luke de Jong. I stand corrected because I was like, what is Van Dijk doing up there in the run of play? But it's a corner. Must have taken a flick or deflection. Yeah. It's a corner to the Dutch. 5 minutes to go. All the big guns are up there for the Dutch.
Lissandro Martinez might need to come off. Because Weghorst is going to be on that side.
Header, edge of the box, drops down. The Dutch are building again. Andy, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Weghorst on Martinez's side, long balls up to there is the game plan now. And we've seen it twice in a couple of minutes. The Netherlands are going to keep hammering that until either the final whistle or until this game's level at 2-2.
Absolutely. 4.5 minutes plus whatever stoppage time we get left. A lot of comments there saying Argentina's choking. It's a lot of pressure, right? I think maybe the second goal goes in, Andy. You think you have it wrapped up and it's all done and dusted. But a lot of pressure now on this Argentine side to see this out. But it's long balls lumping. I mean, no disrespect, but this is like watching Burnley under Sean Dyche, right? This is
Wout is right at home.
Yeah, I know. Late in the game, just lots of long balls. They've got a very clear tactic here.
Yeah.
And it's working. Argentina look rattled, absolutely rattled. But Jessica's getting a little bit nervous there, it would seem. It's getting dangerous. Trainer, they're celebrating too early like Brazil did. It is getting dangerous. It is getting dangerous for so much pressure, roller coaster of emotions. We're with you. We're with you, Cheese. So the Dutch coming forward again down the left. Good tackle there. Getting the ball back. The Dutch, wave after wave of Dutch attack now. Big Virgil van Dijk's on the ball. Pinging it forward. 50-yard, long crossfield ball. Otamendi's up to win it. Comes straight back to Van Dijk. And we're going to go again, I think, with another long diagonal. Goes wide. Oh, poor pass there from, I think that's Frankie de Jong. Just played it straight to Lautaro Martinez. Argentina now have the chance to counter. Messi's on the ball, but Ake comes in. And oh my word, Messi's won a free kick, but I'm not too sure about that. Stevie Berghaus isn't sure about that. I can tell you that. He's not happy. Not happy with that. But that allows Argentina to take the pressure off, Andy, but this is getting pretty crazy late on now.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of stoppage time in this game. There's been a lot of subs in the second half. There's been a handful of yellow cards. There's been a couple of goals. There was a penalty situation. We might be looking at 100 minutes in this game, whether we go to extra time or not.
Oh, absolutely. Here we go then. The Netherlands, 2-1 down if you're joining us late. Where have you been? But anyway, great to have you with us. 3 minutes of normal time to go, plus stoppage time. Nathan Ake has the ball out on the left. Oh, a scything tackle there. Oh, and then he just kicked the ball. Oh, there's all going on. There's a melee. The number 5 for Argentina came on. Absolutely scythed down Nathan Ake, then drilled the ball into the Dutch bench, who have just come flying off the bench en masse. There's bench players on the pitch. There's Van Dijk and Messi are having a laugh, but there's coaching staff involved, players off the bench. A lot of pushing and shoving. The Dutch players telling them to get back off. But my word, Andy, that was
Leandro Paredes, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Did you see? That was incredible. I mean, he's got a yellow card there, but talk about unsportsmanlike conduct. He just absolutely drilled the ball straight to the Dutch bench, right? I mean,
I don't understand why. I don't understand why.
Why would you do that? Wow. I don't want to say they're wobbling, Andy.
Yeah, you're winning. Why are you doing anything but getting back defensively after the ball goes out of play or after a foul is called? I mean, I also wouldn't have made that tackle if I was Paredes coming off the bench and then sliding in on Ake like that. But then to go and do that afterwards,
free kick
makes absolutely zero sense.
Free kick, 40 yards out on the left. Berghaus has got it, whipping it with his wand of a left foot towards the back post. Great delivery. Oh. Who was that back there? I think Denzel Dumfries at the back stick just couldn't get his foot on it to direct it back towards goal. Slightly overhit free kick, but they found the spare man round the back. That's what they were trying to do, Andy.
Yeah.
And we're about to see how much stoppage time is coming up. But I reckon, well, let's have a guess. I'm going to say 7. What are you going with?
9.
9.
Yeah, there's been so much. There's been a lot of stuff that has happened here in the second half.
We're about to see how much stoppage time. I hope they added a little bit extra on for that melee there, because that was chaos. I haven't seen how much has gone up yet. 10 minutes of stoppage time.
Now that we've seen how effective this really, really direct, almost caveman, football-like approach has been for the Netherlands, do we feel like they should have done this from the start?
Oh, here we go. A chance for the Netherlands. Valverde causing chaos. What have we got here? A penalty kick. Free kick right in the edge of the penalty box. Oh.
I mean, absolutely everything is coming from these long balls, and Argentina have zero clue how to deal with it.
Argentina, they're struggling here. 24 yards out, a free kick right in the center of the goal. The Netherlands. I do apologize. I said penalty kick there. Got all my words messed up. I said free kick on the edge of the penalties.
Yeah.
But
you're crazy, just right? enough. You're just enough ahead of me that it had a big effect on my brain.
This is nuts. Yeah, this is come on, Messi there from Harris. You need it. You won't get another chance. I think that's playing into the Argentine players and their mindset right now. They're feeling a lot of extra pressure to get through, for not only for themselves and their country, but for Lionel Messi as well. So this is crazy. By the way, Berghaus, since he's come on for the Dutch, been excellent, whipping in deliveries, making things happen. You have to say, Weghorst and Luc de Jong made differences, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
Louis van Gaal has got them back into the game somehow. And now, 23 yards out, center of the goal. Gakpo's over it. Koopmeiners over it. Berghaus is going to take this to his left peg. He's eyeing it up. He fancies this big start. Oh, right into the wall. But I think if it got over that wall, that would have been serious danger there. Argentina are trying to push out, but the Netherlands have a throw in. We've got 8 minutes to go of stoppage time. Do not go anywhere if you're watching this. Argentina 2, Netherlands 1, World Cup quarterfinal. And now we have an Argentine player down with a head injury. The referee saying he stopped the clock. It's Lissandro Martinez down. His own player headed the back of his head, Otamendi. So, yeah, he's going to get some treatment here. And we're all going to calm down a bit. But I can't believe how simplistic this is. We're seeing the chance here for Berghaus that came back, and it looked like, I don't even know if they did take a flick off Tagliafico, but my word. Van Dijk.
It does feel like Van Hal could have went to this a little earlier, but before conceding the second goal. Like, it has been so effective, and Argentina wouldn't have been quite as sitting in quite as deep as they are now, and it might, which I don't know, that might have worked better then.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This is intense. This is absolutely intense. Dylan saying the Netherlands are showing Croatia how to defeat Argentina. Not a bad point, to be fair. Not a bad point. They're showing them a bit of a weak spot here, aren't they, with these direct balls into the box. So I'm thinking even if you're on the other side of the bracket as well, we're not really seeing Argentina cope with the situation that well. Okay. 6 minutes of stoppage time left. Netherlands have the ball with the goalkeeper, so it's going out to the left. Is that Cody Gakpo all the way back there in a left back position? He doesn't need to be there. They're playing long again. Trying to flick it on. Lovely little flick on. Oh, Gakpo's in down the left. Trying to keep it in play. He's kept it in play. Good defending there by Paredes. Trying to take the throw in. Throws the ball away. He's got to be careful. He's on a yellow. Nathan Ake's got the ball. What are they trying to do? They've got so many bodies in the box there. Get the big man in there. Have a long throw. Played it short. Weghorst holds it up. Plays it out wide to Timber. Timber's going wide. Getting Berghaus on the ball again. They're going back towards their own goal, the Dutch, but they're patient. Timber's got it. He needs to get it in the box. He's clipped it in. Van Dijk is up there. Wins the flick on. Goes to the left. Gakpo's on it. Going to whip it across to the back post. Free header. Oh, great clearance from Argentina. And it looks like there's a whistle on the box for a free kick for Argentina. Oh, my word. It's all going on, Andy. It's all going on. They've given a free kick there against Luke de Jong for a slight nudge on Otamendi, but I don't know. Is that really a foul? I'm not sure. But the Argentina fans are celebrating in the stand, trying to get their team over the line. 4 minutes and 30 seconds away from a World Cup semi-final. But it's just cliche, Andy. I'm going to say it, though. Feels like there's one more big chance for the Dutch in this one, right? It just feels like Argentina are creaking, holding on.
Yeah. And I'm looking here. Emi Martinez has not had to make a save yet. There is a big save that Emi Martinez is going to be required to make. He's either going to make it or he's not here in these final 4 or so minutes of stoppage time, and obviously that's going to decide it. But for as much chaos as the Netherlands have created these last few minutes, the whole of the defensive display from Argentina has just been absolutely fantastic. Now they are scrambling back there right now because I don't think they have the right personnel on the field. But to not allow a shot on target through 90-something plus minutes to this point against a team as good as the Netherlands, that's really something.
Oh, absolutely. Gakpo's got it now. They got the ball back in the Netherlands. They're going long again. Big lump forward. Feeding off the scraps. Oh, who was that? I think Weghorst. Luke de Jong, sorry. Just got too much on it. And that was a really good opportunity there just to knock the ball back to the Dutch attackers. But Dutch fans aren't happy here with the time-wasting tactics from Argentina. But clock is ticking, Andy. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. This is intense.
Oh, I'm glad that it has come as close as it has. Because
True.
Like Argentina, the overall performance from Argentina until they went 2 goals up was absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
could not have managed. Yeah, could not have managed the game any more perfectly. And it makes you wonder, where was this energy and
Oh,
this kind of this game plan and this personnel from the Netherlands earlier in the half?
Priest. Long ball forward, flick on. I think Van Dijk is playing as an emergency centre forward now as well. He's up there. Everyone's up there for the Dutch. Berghuis just nutmegs Messi. That's one to tell his grandchildren about, but he's given the ball away. And the Dutch have won it back. Oh, but they say it's a free kick for a foul, and they are not happy with that. Berghuis is literally crying at the award of that free kick and laughing his head off because he did not think that was a free kick. But that is valuable respite for Argentina there, Andy, and they are gonna. I think they're gonna do it.
Well, Joe, there's 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left. I need a sip of water. 2 minutes left. Argentina has the ball just inside the Dutch half. They're clipping it into the corner towards Martinez. Goes straight out for a goal kick. And the clock is ticking. 90 seconds to go. Can Argentina hold on? Can they get to a World Cup semi-final? Nathan Ake is fouled clearly by... was that Messi? And now... this is it. This is the opportunity, you feel. Everyone's forward for the Netherlands. Free kick, lumped forward. Who's going to get... Van Dijk wins the header, the flick down. Ake, flicks it wide. Gakpo, the ball is cleared. There's a throw-in to the Dutch on the left. Frankie de Jong's on it. Trying to get... he's got some space. Can he clip it? Clip the ball in. Half cleared by the Netherlands. And that is a terrible, terrible challenge right on the edge of the box from Otamendi. And now the Netherlands with about 40 seconds to go. Was it Otamendi? It wasn't Otamendi. It was a couple of Argentine players just barged into the back of Luke de Jong. And now Andy Edwards. 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, it was Petzela.
We have Koopmeiners over the ball. Dutch goalkeeper is praying. This is the moment. Cody Gakpo's over the ball as well. Timber's over it. This surely is the last chance of the game. My word, how intense is this? This is it. Lionel Messi's been booked for something he's done or said. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Gakpo's moved the ball centrally a bit more. Messi doesn't look happy. He's like, how are we in this situation? How has it got to this? How are we clinging on? We were 2-0 up about 20 minutes ago and we were looking good. Gakpo looks like he fancies it. Here it comes, Andy. Free kick. Oh, lovely. Oh, they've done it. They've done it. In the 100th. Oh, my word. 11th minute. An incredible set piece where they looked like they were going to shoot and they played it short onto the penalty spot. I don't even know who tucked it away, but one of the biggest trick plays you will ever see. Everyone.
Luke de Jong.
Luke de Jong controlled and finished. Oh my word, the two big centre forwards they brought on. And this is what every single Argentine fan is like right now. I think
that's incredible.
I think it was Weghorst again.
There is every possibility. They've been working on that sequence for years.
That is incredible.
Like when you have a set piece routine that is that good. Oh. Yep.
Incredible.
Weghorst.
I cannot believe what is happening here.
That free kick probably would have been the last kick of the game. The whistle probably would have gone after that free kick. And now we are looking at another 30 minutes.
I do not believe this. Oh, my word. Trying to sum up that, Andy, is incredible. Wout Weghorst scores, as you can see there, the 101st minute. We're still in normal time. It hasn't even gone to extra time yet. Argentina were 2-0 up. 2-0 up in this game. Until the 83rd
What a couple
minute.
of games today. What a couple of games.
In the 83rd minute, they were still 2-0 up. But then Wout Weghorst with a lovely flicked header. Here comes Messi on the break. Netherlands now got to hold on for this. They can't be too cavalier because Argentina are looking for a way out. And that's it. We're going to extra time. We are going to extra time. That was one of the craziest endings to a game. Argentina 2-0 up with 7 minutes to go. The Netherlands pull one back. And then with essentially the last attack of the game, a free kick. Everyone thought they were going to shoot. I think it was Koopmeiners had the assist. And he played it underneath the wall to the side of the wall. A massive trick play. Weghorst controls it and finishes for his second goal. And Louis van Gaal looks like the calmest man in the stadium. I don't understand how. Because Netherlands, Argentina, their players are kicking off. The Netherlands bench is kicking off a little bit. They're getting their players away from it. There's obviously a lot of aggravation, a lot of upset amongst the Argentine bench there, Andy. And who are the favourites now? I mean, let us know in the comments, everyone watching. Who are the favourites to get through? Because you have to say, Andy Edwards, that is a demoralising collapse for Argentina. And surely now the Dutch have all the momentum going into extra time.
Yeah, I'm looking at the subs that have been made now to see who's got how many left. So the Dutch have made, both teams have made 4. And the players that Argentina have brought on, they brought on 2 defenders, a defensive midfielder, and Lautaro Martinez. So they still have some firepower to bring off the bench. They can still change the game going forward. I don't see anything of note. Well, Xavi Simons, I suppose this is kind of the moment that I out of desperation, a young player with the creative talent that he has might be a moment for him. But I still look at that Argentine bench. There's still Di Maria there. There's still Dybala there. I still think it slightly favors Argentina just a little bit. But I mean, the momentum and the mental state of where these two teams are at right now. Argentina, had they defended 2 more kicks of the ball into the World Cup semifinals, and the Netherlands to be on that close to the brink and come back, the adrenaline that has to be going through them right now. It could carry them. It could carry them through the 30 minutes of extra time to find a goal, penalty kicks, whatever they have to do. I mean, that's got to be one of the biggest swings of momentum and unexpectedness in a World Cup ever. I did not have that. I did not have that on the cards.
I think if you'd generated that millions and millions of times in that scenario, that play is the one play that no one would ever have guessed that would have happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
and let's go back real quick. You mentioned it before the free kick was taken. What was that foul from Petzela? I don't understand barging straight into the back of a defender of an attacker while you've also got 2 defenders around him. It was completely unnecessary to even put in a challenge, let alone to run through his backside and put him on the ground and give up the free kick there. That's really, really poor just awareness and management of the situation from a player who not long before was coming off the bench.
I mean, Andy, but you could see that from Argentina. They were 2-0 up. And then that first goal just really shook them, didn't it? And you could see it actually coming, a moment like that where they lost their heads. I mean, Paredes lumping the ball into the Dutch bench.
Yep.
Just like you said that before, there was no need for it, right? There's just no need to kind of get that anxious and the pressure of the situation.
Yep.
And they were in the driving seat. It really just seemed to get to them. It's sport is crazy, right? As we know, as we've just seen.
Emi Martinez has had 2 saves to make in this game. He's made neither of them. And both of them were just, I mean, the 2 ugliest goals that the Dutch will probably ever score. A header from near the top of the penalty area and a sweeping finish, kind of across the face of goal from a set piece. Like, those are 100% manufactured chances. They've not been able to really sustain anything and build it up. And it's just about how quickly can we get the ball into the final third and cause chaos, but wait for a mistake. Like Argentina have been kind of the architects of their downfall in this game. They have not for the two changes they made along the back line, they've not brought anybody on to deal with Wout Weghorst in the air, and they have really, really paid for it.
This is incredible. I'm just thinking of if they do pull this off the Dutch and win in extra time or penalties, what will the celebrations be like at the Dutch team hotel after, Louis van Gaal's going to have to do something pretty special. But my word, I just need a breather, Andy, right now. This is just, it's taking a lot out of all of us. But Van Dijk and Messi have just done the coin toss. Extra time's about to kick off. So if you're joining us, thanks so much for joining us in the comments. I can see so many comments coming in. Yeah, this has been brilliant. Not something we were preparing for a few minutes ago because it looked like Argentina had it all wrapped up. 2-0 up, 6-7 minutes or so of regulation to play. But Wout Weghorst, on loan from Burnley at Besiktas, I believe. That's his current team. And yeah, obviously he was good in the Premier League for spells when he was signed halfway through last season. But yeah, I don't think any of us had in our World Cup hero bingo had Wout Weghorst being right up there and in the World Cup quarterfinal. But fair play to him. What an incredible impact he had, Luke de Jong.
Yeah.
And the Dutch, because there's a lot of snobbery in football, right? And it's, we got to keep playing, keep knocking it around. You're like, screw it. We've obviously seen a weakness there. And it's Route 1. We get it late on, but it was the quality of the balls and they kept doing the exact same things time and time again, over to the last man, like they did with the US, right? And knocking the ball back, laying it down. It was Route 1, but it wasn't without a purpose. So it obviously worked.
Yeah, Weghorst and de Jong were exactly the players that were required for that situation when they needed to manufacture chances. It's interesting that you bring up kind of the beauty or lack thereof of the way that they've made this comeback, because I was listening to something before the US game, but the US Netherlands game, and the Dutch fans are very, I say disinterested, but they're disenchanted, I think, with this team because they are not the classic Dutch total football, all about possession, free-flowing side. They're not playing 4-3-3. They've got a three-man back line. It's a lot more negative and conservative. And probably Louis van Gaal is the only coach in their, in their history that could probably get away with doing that. But the fans have not loved it. And to see them make a comeback in the quarterfinals at the time that they did in that way, obviously they're excited, but I'm sure there's a little bit of internal conflict going on right now of, but it's not the Dutch way. But we're in extra time with Argentina in the quarterfinal. Like what an incredible game, and just the storylines that continue to happen at this World Cup. We had Croatia knock out Brazil already today. And by the time we get through this game, everybody might forget that. Everybody might forget, because of what could happen in extra time of this, that Brazil, the massive favorites going into the tournament and up until a few hours ago, are just out.
Yeah, this is crazy. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, how you have the technique to pull off in the 101st minute, was it? I think, again, my math is all over the place right now. So part of me was thinking it was the 111th, 110th. It's been a big day today, but 101st minute, Koopmeiners to do that and have the perfect execution on the little side pass and to disguise it.
Yeah.
And then also for Weghorst to have the one touch and then finish it. It just boggles my mind. Argentina on the attack, though, by the way. They have kicked off the first half of extra time finally. Whipped the ball to the back post. Drops down low. And they get rid of it. But it's interesting, like we said, we're looking at the Dutch players actually on the pitch right now. And they went for it so much late on that they just got a lot of attack-minded players. And obviously they've taken off defenders, right? And wing backs. So I'm just trying to see who we actually have playing left wing back. Is it actually Cody Gakpo is playing left wing back now?
Well, I think they're kind of.
Or have they gone back to? Are they stuck with?
It's kind of 4-4-2. De Jong and Weghorst are really up top together. And Gakpo is, I think, gone pretty wide since those changes have happened. And obviously, we've seen all the service from Berghaus there on the right side, and it leaves it leaves Frankie De Jong a little bit exposed as part of a midfield too, I will say. And so I think the route for Argentina to to find some joy in this extra time and to start building themselves back up and maybe create a chance or two is probably right there through the heart of the field.
Oh, talking about Gakpo, good cross into the back post. Oh, overhit it and nearly looped in over Martinez. They're asking for a corner, the Dutch, but Gakpo again. He's looked much better when he's been out on the left, right? Andy cutting inside and just obviously this played into his hands that Argentina have been dropping deeper and deeper. But
Yeah,
he's so versatile and flexible. He can play centrally, he can combine, cutting
yeah,
from out wide. And he's just showing why so many teams wanted to sign him before the World Cup and why PSV was so astute, shall we say, business-wise, to keep hold of him and just see his very
yeah,
shrewd business by them to see his
yeah.
adding, an extra 20, 30 million at least to his price tag at this tournament. So, my word, I think my heart rate is just recovering from that chaos. I don't know how you're doing over there. And I hope everyone's doing okay out there in the comments. But a lot of please Argentinas and Messi, do it for you. He deserves this World Cup, Gennaro saying there. And yeah, this is just Famos Argentina from Alexandra. Go Argentina.
It's interesting. So it must be a lot of Argentina fans because I think when you've got a comeback like that, I think the neutrals probably gravitate towards the team that makes the comeback, right? And to see
Yeah.
something truly special, unless wanting to see Messi do it kind of overrides that. And so it's I think it tells us a lot about probably the folks that are watching here that we don't have many people cheering on the Dutch.
Yeah, but let us know in the comments. Drop a Dutch flag emoji or an Argentina flag emoji, or just
Yeah.
write the name of the team you're supporting. But it looks overwhelmingly like in the comments you guys are supporting Argentina. But Alexandra, the whole world wants Messi to win. That is fair enough. We said that throughout the watch along so far. If you're a neutral, the storyline you really want to see is Messi winning it. But I don't know, like after the Dutch doing this, there is part of me that's like, is it destiny that they seem like one of those destiny teams right now, Andy? Just the way that they kind of a mismatch of players, even some of the other players like Vincent Janssen they called up, and obviously the goalkeeper, incredible story around his career and how I think he was going to join the police force just 18 months ago or something like that. And then he's risen through the ranks and now he's playing at the World Cup for the Dutch. And maybe he will be the hero in a penalty kick situation, Noppert. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. 7 minutes into the first half of extra time. I can't believe I'm saying it. Netherlands 2, Argentina 2, after Argentina were 2-0 up with 7 minutes of regulation to go. And big Wout Weghorst scored twice, including in the final seconds of stoppage time. 10 minutes of stoppage time, by the way. And yeah, this is absolutely.
And they needed every single second of it as well. Like that's very important to remember. 8 minutes, 9 minutes, not enough. Leandro Paredes doesn't boot the ball into the bench. Might not be
That's the
enough.
extra minute.
Yeah, it's unfair
Oh.
to kind of parse through and use hindsight like that. But that is part of managing a game.
Oh, the Dutch, Luke de Jong's been played in down the right. Not really his natural game to be flying down the wing, but he's held the ball up well. Sure, won't mind me saying that. And he's like, why did you guys play it to me out there? But he's turned in he's got fouled here about 25 yards out, just on the inside right channel. A delicious opportunity here for the Dutch to whip in another free kick into a dangerous area. Berghaus is licking his chops. Gakpo is over it as well. Will we see an in-swinger or an out-swinger? I think we know that the Dutch are going to go to the back stick, though, Andy. Or maybe we don't know what they're going to do on free kicks anymore after the winner. Let's see what they have up their sleeve on this one. But, it was part of me in the start of the second half. I thought this was going to be a bit of a damp squib, this game, Andy, the way it was panning out. But the cross comes in, left-footed. Argentina clear. Frankie de Jong with a weird kind of scissor kick. And Argentina get a free kick on the edge of their own box. But yeah, like I was saying, there was part of me thinking, oh, is Argentina going to see this out, especially when they went 2-0 up. But this game is just really, I don't know. It always seems to have something underlying. Like is there something crazy gonna happen between these teams? They always
and
seem
I
to
think it was the forward options on the bench for the Dutch. Like they were so completely polar opposite, options to what they started with on the field that you knew the game was going to change. Now, sometimes just booting the ball along is completely ineffective. Sometimes the balls aren't hit to the right spot. Sometimes the defense is fully prepared and manages that situation well. And I mean, I'm looking at the field right now. Argentina cannot have a defender on the field that's over 5'10" right now, and that is
they're on the
truly
break, though, on the
incredible.
right. Oh no, it's a free kick been given. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, it's incredible. Just kind of the lack of. I don't know if I mean, they had to make a change along the back line and get some kind of size and aerial presence on the field, and they just didn't,
Yeah.
and they still haven't.
Hey Andy, there's more Dutch fans in the comments here. We got Renzi there saying Netherlands, GG Netherlands, Sharky, Jasmine with the Dutch flags, Maniacs going with Netherlands. And then, as is saying something you said earlier, Netherlands have never won the World Cup. We were saying how they're potentially the biggest kind of football nation not to have won the tournament. Obviously, lost to Argentina in the final in 1978. A lot of Argentine flags there, but Maniac saying Argentina breaking apart. Netherlands. We've got some really good comments here. A lot of Dutch flags coming in. West Kingston, don't cry for me, Argentina. That might be the headlines somewhere. If they do not somehow win this game. Jasmine, again, a W for the Netherlands. Jody V saying the Netherlands. As a cross comes in from Argentina and it misses everyone. And yeah, there's a lot of love for the Dutch now. So I think we turned around in the comments a little bit. Everybody's kind of thinking this is pretty incredible to see that comeback. Anything's possible, right? Go Argentina. Man, who yeah, as I go in the comments, your headlines on our articles that we're going to write. Andy's doing the recap for Pro Soccer Talk at NBCSports.com. Give him some help with the headlines because
The recap's in a bad spot right now, Joe.
Rewrite Central. We've all been there, my friend. Can't Dutch this. We've got Don't Cry for Me, Argentina.
Can't Dutch this is good.
Can't Dutch this. That is good. So get your headlines in the comments. And it may or may not be included on Pro Soccer Talk. Depends on how good they are or how much they make us laugh. But got some good ones. Orange Revolution. Yeah, it's got to be some Messi. Messi's. I'm trying to think.
Let's not slander Messi, okay? Just because his name is Messi and this is a potentially messy situation for Argentina. We're all above that. We're above that, guys. Okay.
What about Messi exit for Argentina?
Ooh.
It can be taken two ways. Croatia awaits the Dutch. Oh, everyone's getting on board the Dutch bandwagon now. This is incredible. Argentina going to choke so hard. Yeah, it's not been great. Cynthia, Messi, you can do this as your last World Cup. He's getting on the ball a bit more. It's a free kick for Argentina, I think. We've got 2 minutes of first half of extra time still to go. And let's just wait and see. But a lot of Dutch and a lot of... Let us know where in the world you're watching from, by the way. We're watching along. I'm in England. Andy is in Kansas City in the USA. Let us know which countries you're watching from. There's a big Argentina following here, big Dutch following. Messi's got a free kick about 45 yards out from goal. Looking probably to clip it towards Otamendi. Clipping it down the middle. Oh, it's a free. Oh! It was towards Otamendi, I think, right? Was that Otamendi nearly getting in there? Is Otamendi still on the pitch? I've lost.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he made the. He made the very late run.
Oh, he was open, clipped it in, nearly got in at the back post. Maryland, we got the Trillis, we got Jasmine in Mexico. USA, Erin. Iris is in France. An Argentine in Boston, Caroline Hughes. Oh man, that's going to be rough. That's going to hopefully for you, you're celebrating on the streets of Boston after this. But California, that's where Ed is rooting for Argentina. Guyana, that's where Abby is. China, Australia, Holland. Wow, California, Louisiana, USA. Mars, Alberto. Fair play to you for joining us from there. Although there are some towns called Mars in the USA, so maybe you're just one of them, not actual Mars. Sean Kay in Ireland, Bale Banks, Dallas, Texas, Alan Goodman's in California. James Sibley says ahoy, mates. Ship ahoy. So probably on the boat somewhere, I'd imagine. McLaughlin is in Florida, supporting the Netherlands with an orange love heart there. Buffalo, New York's in the house. My hometown in the USA whenever I'm back. Hello to everyone in Buffalo. Antonio Charo in San Antonio, Texas. Singapore, Guatemala. Bryce is in Sydney, Australia. International Space Station. Can you verify that? That'd be pretty cool if that is the case, Alex. Oakland for Argentina. San Francisco, South Africa for Messi. France, Mark Dumas. And it's half-time in extra time. Score update. Nowhere near as exciting as stoppage time at the end of the game, but Louis Van Gaal is getting some messages across to Urian Timber. Two teams are in huddles. Argentina look a little bit disheveled and all over the place in their huddle, Andy, and the Dutch look very unified, fired up. It's 2-2, extra time, half-time and extra time. We are 15 minutes away from penalty kicks as the Argentine fans in the stand try to get their team going. Oh, Andy, this is crazy, though. We could be. I think this will be the first time ever we've done a watch along where there's been a penalty kick shootout.
Yep.
So we could be going on for 3 hours strong when that is the case. Here we are. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We got Rebecca rooting for the Dutch. Maniac saying Netherlands staying composed. We've got a love for Netherlands. A lot of Dutch love. So stressed. I think we're all there with you. Up the orange.
Tim, you want to run through penalty takers who are on the field right now?
Oh man. All right, for the Dutch, Cody Gakpo.
Yeah.
Frankie de Jong. Luke de Jong.
Probably Berghaus.
Probably Berghaus. Probably Weghorst. After that, I mean, 10 group minors maybe, and then goes to like Van Dijk and Ake pretty quickly. What about for Argentina? Who would you go with?
Obviously, I mean, Messi's put one in this game. Whatever you feel about Messi from the penalty spot, Lautaro Martinez on the field. I feel like McAllister would be a safe bet. Enzo Fernandez has shown at this tournament, big moments, not too much for him. Although, well, no, he won't be coming off during the last bit of extra time because I think Argentina just made the 5th sub. So, yeah, I think it slightly shades towards Argentina. I think they've got the better top takers, but I think for both sides it falls off pretty quick. And Leandro Paredes, I think, is also pretty solid from the spot.
The Dutch. We got a free kick for Argentina, about 40 yards from goal. How many free kicks have they won, by the way, Argentina? This really trying to break up this extra time period here. Or Messi tries to play a short free kick, doesn't get in, but... Okay, trainer says, I don't see Argentina ever winning in penalties unless it's against another South America. Interesting. Explain the reasons for that. But I think... I don't know. I just don't think there's... The way this game has gone... Argentina have a corner, by the way, early on in the second half of extra time. Behind that wall, that mountain of Argentine fans there, just trying to suck the ball into the net, roaring them on. Let's see if Otamendi can get on the end of this one, actually connect to this one. Messi whips it in. Edge of the box. Nopper, the Dutch goalkeeper. He got the ball with the first attempt, but just popped out of his hands, but he got it. He was glad to get it on the second attempt, so he's called it. Messi better come through. That's what Juan says. Argentina's got this. The last South American hope, of course, with Brazil going out earlier today. Well, yeah, I don't. Trainers saying there that everyone except England and Europe is good at penalty kicks, which, as an England fan, I can attest to that. So I hope their game against France doesn't go to penalty kicks tomorrow. This is just, yeah, incredible. So Rebecca Kaiser says, "What do you guys predict?" We both predicted the Netherlands to win, right, Andy, at the start of the game. So we were looking not silly, but we were looking like our hunches were.
We were looking silly.
Yeah, we were.
They had one shot for 82 minutes, Joe. They had one shot in 82 minutes.
But we knew that they were going to equalise in the 101st minute off a trick play free kick to Wout Weghorst, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we said that before the game started.
That's a movie script that gets turned down and blown up because it's just too, it's not believable enough.
Yeah, I know. It kind of sums up the World Cup quite perfectly, I think.
Yeah.
That moment. Yeah. With some of the upsets we've had here. Tony is saying a semi-final repeat of 2014. That was when Argentina beat the Netherlands on penalties, right? And didn't the Netherlands make changes to the goalkeeper then? Was that when Tim Krul became a hero because he was coming off the bench? And I'm looking.
Jasper Cillessen, was it not?
Yeah, well, it was one of them, right? They were making the changes.
Yeah, I think it was Cillessen.
But I'm looking. They have one sub left, and I'm wondering whether they're thinking of doing the same thing again. They have one sub. I don't know why they wouldn't have made all their subs yet. So have they got like another trick up their sleeve with the other goalkeepers? You got Pazvir on the bench. I'm just saying. Don't be too surprised if.
No, you were right, Joe. It was Krul coming on for Cillessen. I had it backwards.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. On the pitch, there's another booking shock. Montiel, and he misses the next match. So if Argentina do get through to semi-finals, Montiel's out. Okay, free kick. 25 yards out on the far right flank. Messi with his wonderful left foot over it. Play it short. Messi's running in on goal. Edge of the box. Cuts inside on his left. Curls it. 10 yards over the bar. I gave him the big build up there. No good. All right, in the comments, we've got 10 minutes to go here, but let us know who you think is better suited on penalty kicks. Who you think is going to win, Argentina or the Netherlands? Any kind of hunch you have, any kind of prediction you want to make on who's going to win it, let us know in the comments as we're in the 110th minute of this wild World Cup game. Netherlands lump a long ball forward. And they kind of, since it's gone to extra time, Andy, the Netherlands have been pretty happy to just like say, all right, we'll play for penalties. We'll try and play on the counter.
It is their best chance to win this game. As much chaos as they created, with 30 minutes to go and Argentina needing a goal themselves, the possession that they're going to have, they would not be able to sustain getting the ball forward the way that they did late in the second half and in stoppage time, going the other direction once Argentina win the ball back. So it's a very calculated, kind of balancing of the two, the two from Louis van Gaal. And if they can get to penalties, it is as 50-50 as could be. I think it's slightly shades Argentina right now for the next 10 minutes because they're the ones that are trying to play and attack and create. But there's not much in it.
No, and we just saw pictures. Angel Di Maria is about to come on for Argentina, so he'll definitely take a pen, right? So he's on. Lisandro Martinez is off. And I think he'll be feeling pretty gutted, the Man United defender, about his, I wouldn't say his role, but just the fact that he was beaten so easily on that first goal for the Dutch and just switched off. And the Dutch are coming forward on a bit of a counter. What a tackle that is. Oh my word. They've given it as a foul. What's going on? Who's the yellow card gone to? Oh, Cody Gakpo was through. It's Pizzella, German Pizzella.
For the most part, teams and players at this World Cup have been very well
Oh, that's
behaved.
fantastic.
And then this game came about, and it's just we threw all of that out the window. We said it's the quarterfinals now, willing to do whatever is required. And both teams, more so Argentina, I suppose, have just really, really, shown their teeth in this game and shown that they're tough to deal with.
Free kick, 30 yards out on an inside right. Gakpo clips it in. Back post again. Oh, the Dutch. Oh, brilliant double block from Argentina. Some kind of foul in there. I think it was Luke de Jong they found, but so many times, Andy, they've just gone to the back post. How are Argentina not just lining up 3 people on the back post to stop this?
Yeah.
But it was a block there. Oh, de Jong.
What a charmed life for the Dutch. They continue to show exactly what they want to do, and the U.S. and Argentina in back-to-back games just decide, no, we're not gonna defend that.
Okay, Cody Gakpo's off. Lang is on, so they're not going to do anything crazy with the goalkeepers, I believe. Or did they get an extra sub? They could still do that. I'm just trying to work out the math in my
This
head.
was sub number 6 for them.
For the Dutch. I had it down as the 5th. Unless I've missed something. Right?
Once again, you are correct. Yeah. They just made another one, and I thought that was the 5th.
Okay, so I think they still have one more. So again, we could see. I just think there's a reason why they haven't made as many subs. I feel like, I don't know. This is crazy. So to remind everyone out there, if you want to watch the ensuing penalty kicks if they do happen, or the final few minutes of extra time. Oh, as Argentina are played in, who's that? Lautaro Martinez trying to get it towards Messi. Oh, the Dutch half clear. Comes to Di Maria on the right-hand side. Enzo Fernandez gets in, crosses it low, edge of the box. Oh, what a block. Lautaro Martinez. I think big Virgil van Dijk got the block in there, right? It was pulled back to the penalty spot area. Van Dijk stood there. The ball hit his chest. And it goes wide. But some hope there for Argentina that they can win it late on. But if you're watching in the USA in Spanish, pull up Telemundo or Peacock. You can watch a stream along with us. Have that game on mute. Have us up. And then if you're watching in the USA in English, you can pull it up on Fox as well. Cross comes in. Corner comes in. Van Dijk clears. Who's it away? The Dutch move up.
Van Dijk knew absolutely nothing about that block. That struck him. Right?
Like Matrix.
Yeah. He is, and he's lucky he got his body turned more broadside to the ball, because if that comes off his chest, off the side, that might just deflect in.
Another corner for Argentina, by the way, as we were talking about that. Another move down the right. Di Maria, left. He takes it short to Messi. Edge of the box. It's worked. A shooting opportunity. Low shot. Driller. Oh, deflected and goes just over the bar. Totally wrong-footed Noppert. Come off the inside of Valdeco's shin and loops up and lands on top of the net. That looked like it was destined for the top corner. And my word, Argentina are having a go here.
Yeah, Argentina have found something there on the left side of the Dutch's defense. I think with Ake playing kind of left back, and they know that he's not as mobile, he's not as good at defending 1-2s in space. Yeah, and bringing Di Maria on, of course. But they're really everything's coming through there.
Corner cleared, comes back out, playing it back out to the left. Di Maria, that man again, whips it in. Another corner for Argentina. 4.5 minutes left in extra time, normal time and extra time. Andy, I don't know if I can take much more than this. This is the corner kicks coming in.
Imagine being the players right now.
Oh, headed over by Argentina.
Oh.
They got clear. I think he got the run on Van Dijk as well. So, and Ake, I don't know if they're doing zonal there, and Ake was just too slow to attack the ball. But yeah, you're right. Argentina's found something here in this second period of extra time. And most of extra time. To be honest, they've recovered well from that demoralizing goal right at the end. You know, it's Devon saying best game so far, easy. I think the fact that it's quarterfinals, these two teams, Messi's situation, the wild swings, It's been pretty crazy, right? Been pretty
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean, this is the full scope of World Cup drama that we've had. We've had an all-time GOAT assist as brilliantly as could possibly do, scored a goal from the penalty spot, and we've seen complete domination from one of the favorites to win the tournament. And then we've seen a two-goal comeback with a set piece routine to equalize in the 10th minute of this game has had absolutely everything. It's kicked off a few times with players pushing and shoving, but never gotten to a point where it was unsporting. Oh,
Here we go. Dutch cross to the back post. Oh, Emi Martinez drops it, but collects it on the second go. What do you think of that, Andy? That's the one real chance they've had in the extra time period, really.
That was a dangerous, dangerous ball. And if that run, I think, is a little bit more, if it's a little bit more inside,
coming across,
I think they've got a chance of getting to it. It was at Berghaus there at the back post. If he's making that much more of a diagonal run and cutting kind of towards the penalty spot, I think he's got a chance to do what Weghorst did on the first goal, where he just kind of peels away laterally into space to create that half-yard or yard that he needs.
Yeah, comment there stressing don't need this. This is chaos. Messi's on the ball, plays it out wide to the left, edge of the penalty box. So many Argentine players forward here, so many Dutch players back, just enough back to stop the threat of an attack for now, but Argentina recycle it back out to their right-hand side.
Just enough back. All 11 of them were within 25 yards of goal as that ball entered the final third.
Just enough. And then they're trying to scrap away here to win the ball. They've won it back, the Dutch. Won it back. We now might have a 2-on-2 situation.
Ooh.
Oh, Berghaus is on it. Oh, he's flicked past him. Can he get his head up? Back post. Oh, Martinez comes out.
Yeah, they just don't have the right players on the field to counter now in that way. No. All of the changes have brought off Memphis. They don't have, aside from Berghaus, anybody that can really dribble and look ahead.
Turn for Lautaro Martinez. Low drive. Pushes it away. Good save. Just over a minute of normal time to go.
Wow. Wow.
It's getting tense. This is getting tense. Argentina have the ball. 45 seconds to go of normal time in extra time. 119th minute. 120th minute we're in now, Andy. Messi's on the ball. Edge of the box. Low shot. Goes wide. I think they're calling for a corner. Is it a corner that take a slight nick? I think it might have done. This is it. I think this is going to be the last attack of extra time before we go to penalty kicks. Oh, dear. Oh, nearly went in at the near post. The corner was whipped in. And Noppert pushes it over his own crossbar under a bit of pressure. So Di Maria with the cheeky corner there. Messi's on it now after another short corner. Edge of the box. Shot comes in. Oh, it hits the post. Oh, Argentina, edge of the box. Enzo Fernandez with a low driller. Perfectly dipping. Smashes off the post in the 121st minute.
How incredible if Netherlands had equalized in the final minute and then Argentina had won it in the final.
So close for Argentina to win it. And we are so close to penalty kicks. About 10, 15 seconds away now, Andy, from penalty kicks. And
I mean, it feels right, doesn't it? Like, as lopsided as the game was for 80 minutes, Netherlands were able to do so much and cause so many problems during their period.
It's gone to penalties. It's gone to penalty kicks. Ended in regulation. Normal time and extra time. Netherlands 2 after that incredible comeback. Argentina 2. And this is it. This is so intense for a place in the World Cup semi-finals against Croatia, who earlier beat Brazil on penalty kicks. Andy, try and sum up this game for us right now.
I mean, absolute complete domination from Argentina for 82 minutes. They had allowed one shot in nearly an entire game. And then Wout Weghorst came on. And, as everybody around the world expected, once Wout Weghorst came on the field, the game got real. Like, the World Cup doesn't start until Wout Weghorst is out there heading down long balls, getting on the end of crosses. And the Dutch, who, typically the most beautiful possession football you can imagine, have become, a 90s era MLS team that's just, we're going to get the ball forward and as high as we can, as quickly as we can. And you have no answer for it. And Argentina simply had no answer. Now, Argentina, I think, were very, very unlucky there the last few minutes of extra time with Fernandez striking the post and that chance that Lautaro had, and Van Dijk. Again, Van Dijk makes an incredible block, but he did not know he was making a block as he stood there. That ball found his chest. And so, those are the tiny little moments of luck, or you just need something. You need a body to turn a certain direction to go your way to stay in this game, and they've had it. And now you go to, it is as 50-50 as it could be going to penalties now. These players are, they have to be shattered at this moment, already playing a condensed schedule, games in shorter time frames. This has been a very, very intense 2 hours of football for these two teams. It's not, a nothing game played in the middle of the field where nobody scores, nobody creates anything. This has been end to end. It is a real shame one of these teams has to go home now, because this has been perfect World Cup entertainment.
Absolutely. Ian Williamson says, time to pray. Daisha says, come on, Argentina, you can do it. A lot of Messi fans, come on, Netherlands. Let us know in the comments who you think will win penalty kicks, Netherlands or Argentina. And again, pull up a stream. If you're watching in the US, you can watch in Spanish on Telemundo and on Peacock. Our NBC family of channels, pull up one of their streams and have that alongside us. Mute that, listen to us, try and explain the madness, and send your questions coming in. And if you're in the US, if you want to watch in English, you can watch on Fox and their family of channels. So, yeah, this is craziness. This is craziness for the second time today, for the second quarterfinal so far in this World Cup. It's gone to penalty kicks. Just really, again, sums it up very nicely, the chaos of this tournament so far in Qatar. So many upsets. And I think the Netherlands winning would be an upset, Andy. Just given, before the game, and then the fact that they were 2-0 down with 7 minutes of normal time to go, and they managed to score and the way they did. And Messi as well, right? As we're
Did
seeing
you catch that moment there? I think Van Dijk, maybe out of respect for Messi being who he is, kind of wanted Messi to call the coin flip.
Yeah,
or maybe mind games. Who knows what it is? But kind of nodding it, because the home team calls it, right? And the Netherlands are the home team there, and so it was a little interesting.
And Van Dijk's up first to take the penalty kick. By the way, he's up first. Quick story on Van Dijk. I was in the Champions League final when they beat Tottenham, and he was the man of the match. And I asked him about
Moussa Sissoko was the man of the match.
That's true. But he was asked about a Ballon d'Or winner. Does he feel like he's one of the best players in the world? That's a few years ago when he was at the height of his powers. And he said, to me, Lionel Messi will always be the greatest player. As long as he's playing, he should always win the Ballon d'Or every year. So there's probably some of that respect. All right. BVD, stepping up. First penalty kick. Netherlands against Argentina. Van Dijk, usually the coolest customer in any stadium he's in. He steps up. And it's saved! Emi Martinez saves it. Not a great penalty.
It is really risky, and I know he's the leader and captain and everything, but it is risky sending a center back out there for the first one, because especially if you have the opportunity to go first and put the pressure on the other side, and you can't convert, and it was one of your now if you convert, you're at a massive advantage because you've got an extra attacker still to go in the shootout. But man, that is, oof.
All right. Lionel Messi's up next. Oh my word! It's kicking off a little bit on the halfway line again between the players, benches. You see that, Andy?
Yep.
All right, here comes Messi. Looking, he's already scored one penalty today. Is he going to go the same way to the goalkeeper's left? He's taking his time with these run-ups. Here he comes. Oh, cool and collected. Slots it, waits for the goalkeeper to dive, and then a little celebration, giving it.
Oh,
Look at me. Look at how awesome I am. And Argentina 1-0 up after the first two penalty kicks taken, one for each team.
well, if that's his last kick for Argentina, what a touch it was.
Yeah. Coolness, calmness personified.
Oh,
Who's up next? Stevie Berghaus, who was really good when he came on in this game.
yeah.
Hats off to him.
Yeah, played a big part in changing the game.
Look at that, by the way, behind the goal. Wall of Argentina fans, a little pocket of Dutch fans there. Just
Croatia had the same thing earlier against Brazil.
Yeah. Oh, saved again! Another fantastic save from Emi Martinez. Goes to his left.
Joe,
Wow.
you want to know how many saves Emi Martinez made in regular time and extra time?
How many? 0? 1?
0. He's made
Wow.
2 in the shootout already.
Wow.
Oh,
What a save.
That's an incredible save. He has to get the full extension of his body out there to make that save. And that ball is hit so hard, even if he gets a solid hand to it, it could still go through.
This is all right. Paredes is up next. Let's see if Noppert can be some kind of hero here for the Dutch. They really need him to come up big and save this. Here he comes, Paredes. And a beauty of a penalty kick straight into the corner.
Wow.
And after 2 penalty kicks each, the Dutch have had both of theirs saved. Argentina has scored both of theirs. My very limited math, if the Dutch miss this and Argentina score the next one, then they're through to the World Cup semi-finals. Wow. The Dutch, after getting back into this game, Andy.
That's football, isn't it?
That is. Have we got Coop Miners here?
Yeah.
Stepping up.
Let me remind you that about 24 hours from now, you might be doing this exact same thing.
Please don't. Please. I've done this enough times as an England fan. I don't need to do it again. Oh, good pen. Good pen. So the Dutch have one on the board. This is massive now. If Noppert can save one, or this feels like this is it, this moment now. Martinez didn't even dive for that one. Who we got coming up here?
What a character Emi is. Like the facial expressions and the body language at all times, just 100 million miles an hour, has no chill.
And talk about a guy
which you don't typically love for a goalkeeper.
Yeah. Done it the hard way. Bided his time at Arsenal, was a hero there, and then kind of went out on top when he came into the team. Done really well at Aston Villa over the last few years. And now, Argentina stepping up. Oh, scored it again. Montiel, right? So the Dutch have to score here, I believe. They have to score.
Yep. Wow. I mean, just the swings. Argentina were on top of the world, completely dominated a World Cup quarterfinal in a way that I picked them to win the tournament, and that was better than I expected to see them perform and control this game.
Okay, the hero, Wout Weghorst. He's got to score here to keep the Dutch in it. He's looking a bit anxious, nervous, a few deep breaths from him. He scored. It's 3-2 to Argentina. But if Argentina scores this one, they are in the World Cup semi-finals where they play Croatia. And it's all kicking off again. My word. I mean, I'm pretty sure most players and coaching staff and subs have been booked at this point, whether they've been on the pitch or not. It's been that kind of game. And who we got here? Enzo Fernandez, I believe, is stepping up to try and
14 yellow cards thus far, by the way. 2 for the benches.
All right, just the 14. Casual. Can he be the hero for Argentina? Straight run up to start with. At least that's how he's facing. Try not to show us which way he's going to go. This is it. All comes down to this. Run up to the left. Couple of stutter steps. And he misses. Oh, he puts it wide. And this dramatic game takes another dramatic twist. Of course, the Dutch need to score this one to have a chance. Oh, Andy, we've been on a roller coaster tonight, mate.
Joe, it's going to be a while on the recap.
Yeah.
Because the penalty shootouts we've had thus far were very straightforward, were they not?
Yeah,
and this is anything
Who
but.
we got here? We've got Luke de Jong stepping up. Straight run up. Pretty calm, using all of his experience here. He's got to score to keep the Dutch in this. Oh, and he does. Lovely little stutter step. And this is it. It all goes down to this one penalty kick. Who are we thinking? Di Maria's taken the last one?
Gotta be. Gotta be.
Who was very, non-complimentary of Louis van Gaal. Should we say that, when he was in charge of Manchester United? So
yeah.
Oh, it's not Lautaro Martinez. Oh, it's another yellow card. There's another yellow shock. Someone's just got booked. Who? Oh, my word.
This is it. Chaos.
Lautaro Martinez to send Argentina into the World Cup semi-finals. Netherlands 3 after 5 penalty kicks. Argentina 3 after 4 penalty kicks. This is it. It all comes down to this. Can Noppert be the hero? Can Lautaro Martinez be the hero? He doesn't look that confident, if I'm honest, Andy, but he's got nerves of steel. He's beginning his run-up. Clever run-up. And he's done it! Puts it into the top corner. Argentina are in to the World Cup semi-finals, where they'll play Croatia. Wild celebrations on the pitch. Their fans are going wild in the stands. The Dutch players are, some of them crying on the pitch. They have given absolutely everything. Oh, this game didn't deserve a loser. It's hard to say that, but they really didn't. Messi is celebrating, obviously, the Argentine players. It's all kicking off again, Shock. There is Dutch players wading in, Argentine players, a melee there involving the coaching staffs. Messi's off on one side, just celebrating on his own.
Let's keep Messi out of that.
Yeah, he's too clever to get involved in that nonsense. But the Dutch players are understandably distraught. Berghuis and Van Dijk obviously go down as the players who had their spot kicks saved, though, right? I mean, they were on target. They weren't the best kicks in the world. Good height. Yeah. Martinez made a good save either way, but Messi is absolutely delighted. He's led them to the World Cup semi-finals. Croatia awaits Argentina, but poor old Wout Weghorst is in tears on the pitch after scoring 2 goals and being the hero late on to get the Dutch to extra time. Louis van Gaal stood on the sidelines, hands in his pockets, just taking it all in. Martinez is in tears. The Aston Villa goalkeeper is the hero for Argentina. And seeing the reactions of the fans, the players, the staff, Andy, this is what it's all about, the World Cup, isn't it? This is the drama, the agony, the ecstasy, the despair.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look, there's just a different emotion. And wow, what a day we've had here. Argentina win 4-3 on penalty kicks against the Netherlands after a crazy 2-2 draw in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. You got any final thoughts for us, final words? How on earth do we sum that up? And before you do, I just want to say thanks to everyone in the comments section.
Yeah.
For all of your comments, for watching. We've got people crying in the comments section. Good game. Thanks to both of you guys. It was a nice time watching and listening. Really appreciate you guys joining us for this. And thank you so much. But Andy, final thoughts on this crazy, crazy quarterfinal as Argentina celebrate.
Yeah, that was incredible. The swings that happened in that game, again, it's almost too much to be believable. Like the way that Argentina dominated the game for 82 minutes and then to just look so completely inept and lost for the final 20 or so minutes, including stoppage time. Um, and then I don't know the penalty shootout. That's it's got to be the worst way ever to go out. And spare a thought for me on the day that the U.S. men's national team ever has to go to a penalty shootout in a World Cup game with that much riding on the line. And I think now Argentina are looking at the fact that Brazil's not there in the semifinals, and they're not going to look past Croatia, but they are going to feel very confident, I think, in beating Croatia. And I don't know that would have been the case if it was Argentina. I think they would have backed themselves, and I think they obviously could have done it. But the expectation now is World Cup final for Argentina, for Lionel Messi, and the opportunity to crown that career off correctly, as he and Edgar Davids are having an interesting little conversation there, and Louis van Gaal was involved in it as well. Not quite sure what's going on there, but somebody's not happy in that conversation. Maybe there's a bit lost in translation between the two of them, but yeah, it's amazing that we get at least one more World Cup game with Messi still alive and kicking for Argentina.
Absolutely. I think the main kind of is jubilation on the face of the Argentine players, but relief as well, I think, is sort of the overriding emotion after being 2-0 up going into the final 7 minutes of regulation, and then to have it pegged back and then to show the spirit, because they did in extra time, because of the changes the Dutch made to the team just to get back into the game. They weren't their same kind of fluid selves in extra time, and Argentina were the better team. They hit the post, they came close, were the much better team in extra time. So you'd say in a very tight game, probably the Messi factor, that extra bit of confidence and experience maybe just really told, but very harsh on the Dutch to go out like that. So yeah, all I got to say is thanks so much to everyone. What we got? 3 hours and 5 minutes on the Watchalong clock today. So yeah, that was quite the occasion, quite the momentum shifts back and forth. And I think we'll be talking about this World Cup quarterfinal for many years to come. So thank you for all your nice comments there coming up on the screen about our commentary. It was really nice joining you all for that momentous occasion. Lionel Messi in Argentina, still in the World Cup. The Netherlands are out. And we'll keep you covered over at Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com with all the latest World Cup news, analysis, reaction, how to watch information, everything you need. And yeah, just can only echo the comments in the section. Thanks to you guys for making that such an amazing occasion for us to share it with you, answer your questions, join in the the utter madness of Argentina beating the Netherlands on penalty kicks. What a game. What a moment. What a World Cup. Andy, thanks again for joining me. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll speak to you all very soon indeed. Thanks guys. Cheers.